All right, chat, welcome in. We are live. The NBA draft is live, about to go live. A Mavs about to go on the clock as Adam Silver announces welcomes us to the room, chat. We're getting ready to get the festivities kicked off here, and we'll be here all night for the first round. The first time in NBA history that the draft is going to be divided into 2 rounds, chat. So, or not 2 rounds, ayo, 2 nights. Or I guess I don't know if that's technically true, but no, the first time in the modern era of the draft. It's going to be the 2-night event. First round tonight, second round tonight. I mean, nothing really changes for us, chat. We're watching the second round anyway, so I guess that's the point, right? Just if we have nothing to do on Friday night. ESPN, they're like, what are we scheduling on Friday night in the middle of June or the end of June after, we're right between NBA Finals and Little League World Series and Summer League, so it's a real blank time in the scheduling slate. Is that Friday night's open, second, or I guess not even, it's Wednesday, chat. Ayo. The Thursday night is open. You got an extra just event to throw in there with the second round, but we got the first round tonight, and with the Mavs on the clock, of course, we know that Cooper Flagg will about to be drafted here any second. Adam Silver announcing a couple of minutes ago that there is 700,000 people at the Thunder's Championship Day Parade. Shout out to Oklahoma City. I mean, I guess the thought would be, is Oklahoma City kind of going to be like the final destination franchise? Hopefully not everybody gets killed off, chat, but the way the movies maybe Fast and Furious is a better way to say it, but I mean, people are not necessarily surviving those movies as well too. But the idea that, of course, the franchise, the team, I guess the franchise, yeah, they're a team, the popularity of it would grow every time they would win a title, the seasons and all that different stuff. And I guess that is the whole, of course, the small markets and all the face of the leagues and all that stuff. Do we solve that tonight, chat? Cooper Flagg. Hey, yo! Why would Cooper Flagg now solve the face of the league conversation, chat? That's just a question we'd have to ask ourselves. That's a society we have to look internally and go, wait, why is Cooper Flagg the face of the NBA, chat? But he will be, of course, in Dallas. And shout out to ESPN as well, too. We've got the prospect ranking pulled up here. But on the draft cast, what did I see? Oh, yeah, we did see the Spurs, chat, making moves already, trading the 38th pick. But that doesn't matter for tonight. Again, second round is tomorrow night. But, yeah, they say Dylan Harper, chat, best fit for the Mavs. The Cooper Flagg, best available. Dylan Harper, though, would be the best. Dylan Harper, a better teammate with Anthony Davis, chat, apparently, according to ESPN as well, too. But, yeah, I mean, we know Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper probably going to be the first 2 picks off the board. Chat, I don't even know, does ChatGPT have the script for the NBA draft? Do you have we can't spell here, chat. The NBA draft script for 2020, for 2025. Let's see if it knows what's happening early on. Again, the first 2 picks, there's a good chance that, it's not publicly available, chat. It couldn't hack into the NBA database and get the script. It is what it is. Oh, it's not even gonna try, chat. Hey, yo, ChatGPT, do some work. What are we doing here? But yeah, and of course we know it's gonna be Cooper Flagg, class act, chat, looking good. We got a little 3-piece suit situation for our guy Cooper Flagg. Very traditional, very classy. And they were, I mean, the comps, chat, were all over the place today on ESPN, on the TVs, just walking around work. It's like, okay, wait a second. One lap around the bar, they're comparing him to Kawhi Leonard. Next time we walk around, they're comparing him to Jason Tatum. Next time we swing around, I don't even know if there's a Scottie Pippen. It's just like, okay, wait, at what point is it like, these aren't even wings that play like Cooper Flagg? I get that Cooper Flagg is going to be a great player, but it's like, Cooper Flagg is like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It's like, well, I don't know necessarily, he's going to be great. I'm sure we can find guys in similar lanes with similar games, but it's getting out of control, chat. It is what it is. The Mavs pick is in. I don't even know how much time they spent on the clock debating for this. I will say, I did, of course, ask Sam. I texted Sam after last night's live stream when we cooked up the old, would the Mavs trade the #1 pick for Jalen Williams? Did Jalen Williams play up that level enough? And I think I was expecting Sam to be like, oh, there's no way I would trade Cooper Flagg for Jalen Williams. But let me see what he said here, chat. Yeah, he said needs another sweetener with Flagg. So he think maybe another player, Max Christie and Cooper Flagg. I mean, they're gonna have to have a contract there in there anyways. But you could do like Dwight Powell in the #1 pick for Jalen Williams and just flip the contracts, and then basically it's Cooper Flagg for Jalen Williams at that point. I guess because if you're doing it before now as well too, again, you know you're getting Cooper Flag, but you're not necessarily, he's not on the roster. It's still the future pick technically, and you're not trading for a salary at that point. So you could just, Dwight Powell, the #1 overall pick for Jalen Williams, does work in the trade. And Jalen Williams still on his rookie deal in Oklahoma City as well too. So I was a little, I thought, you know, Cooper Flag, of course, Sam is, he's making a case for first team also. I don't know, you know, in one season, how many games can he take LaMelo Ball's spot on first team all Sam's favorite guys in the league, chat? That's the question. I mean, they can, LaMelo Ball and I guess Cooper Flag can play together. And I guess with Jason Tatum on IR, there is just a vacancy anyways. But, you know, I thought there was no way. So shout out to Jalen Williams, of course. Amazing final. Shout out to the Thunder for winning the final. Sam actually thinks that the Mavs would need Jalen Williams too good. Better than Cooper Flag. More upside than Cooper Flag. And maybe Jalen Williams is kind of a fun upside comp just in general for Cooper Flag, because it is still kind of interesting to think about him in terms of the variance of, you know, again, we're only thinking about him as, you know, is he Jason Tatum? Is he Scottie Pippen? Is he Bob McAdoo? Like, which great player is he, chat? But in the terms of the great players, of course, the conversation is he going to be the best player on a team? Is he going to be the, you know, what hierarchy does he fall into technically? And, you know, him actually, and to get to that level, of course, to be the best guy on the team is crazy. But, you know, even the last 2 years as well, with the way that the salary cap, of course, has changed the league a little bit. Maybe there is something to the balance of the line. You would assume that, you know, you're not going to have the top end guys the same type of way. Maybe there is something to the balance of the lineup that you can have with these certain types of rosters in the second apron era. Again, even if it is a little bit more difficult to keep the team together, and just the maneuverability of all the different stuff. But even Tatum and Shea were both kind of guys that, as it's happening, it's like, okay, are they the best player in the league? Are they the best? I guess they're the best player on the team. So maybe this is like the perfect time for Cooper Flag to be entering the league as a #1 player as well too, because there's the official selection, chat. Cooper Flag, welcome to the NBA, man. Welcome to the NBA. I mean, the man's been in the NBA for 2 years, basically. I know Duke fans there was a second there where it's like, well, wait a second. Cooper Flag's going to be making so much NIL money that he's going to go back to Duke. And maybe that is like a little something we Cooper Flag it, chat. Hey, yo, maybe that is something we flag in the future as like, okay, this was with the way Cooper Flag was projected to be the #1 pick, and with just, I think the way he's talked about as well too, like, I think he just, the NBA is obviously right for him. Like, you know, guys are wanting him to get into the NBA. He's being anointed. It makes sense. There's no real reason for him to go back to college in that type of way. But maybe there is a path now, of course, for, you know, #1 picks in the future. Maybe there will be a guy that's a projected #1 pick in a couple years where it's like, you know, I will go back. And again, that would definitely have, I mean, it's definitely happened before. Of course, guys returning to college, but modern NBA of it, I feel like when was the last time a guy that could have been the #1 overall pick like went back or passed up on that opportunity? The one guy from like our drafting experience here, chat, which is not obviously a ton of years, but the one of the best guys that I can remember that could have gone in it and didn't go back was Miles Bridges, and he ended up, of course, being like the 13th, 14th pick of the draft. And if he had gone out as a freshman, maybe would have been like the 8th pick of the draft or something. So, maybe a little bit of money or whatever was lost. But he definitely has been, Miles Bridges has made some money back as well too. I mean, he's been a good player. So he's not, I guess, well, he's not broke because of his NBA contracts. Yeah, that's for sure. If he is, it's other reasons. But in terms of guys that were returning back to college, he went for the sophomore year, and that was, I guess, Denzel Valentine as well too. So Izzo at Michigan State, but Valentine wasn't necessarily, I mean, I guess he was a lottery pick, but still Bridges was, and he was a junior senior, so I guess it was he was already on the he already had the older label, and I guess you're not gonna have the older label as a sophomore, but it's like, okay, he had already been going back to Michigan State, so it's like, might as well just go back as a senior at that point. But outside of that, of course, it was like, who else was going to go back? Nobody else has gone back to college when the opportunity has been there that I can think of that would have been, maybe like Carson Edwards. I can't even really think of one, chat. But, and, speaking of, guys staying, like, even if Cooper Flag had stayed, he did reclassify as well, too. So, that's even another point to mention in the whole Cooper Flag conversation. It's like the timeline of this is crazy when he's entering the NBA, how impactful he can be in year one just as an additive guy. And then, because that was always the thing with Wembanyama was, as an additive player. And you see it right now. Wemby's the best defensive player in the league. Okay, Dylan Harper and Steph Castle building blocks. Like, let's just say Wemby's never a guy that's going to be offensively the best guy to ever lead a title team. We have, I mean, what's the baseline for him as a player just right now? And like, you know, his impact is already just championship level impact, even if him like throwing a team on his back and carrying a team to the title is still like, again, like the last final step of it. Like, you would assume that Cooper Flag can go to a team. And, you know, year one, again, is like Wemby, you know, is even still year two was like, okay, now we're fully into that mix. But, you know, within, you imagine that first couple of years, he's going to be a championship level player, which is the exciting thing for Dallas. And I don't know if it's the exciting thing for Cooper Flag going to Dallas. And, you know, that's the scary thing for Cooper Flag is the Dallas piece of it. Or Cooper Flag in Vegas, chat. Who knows? I guess that there's, you know, a lot of questions surrounding just the future of the Mavs franchise in general. That's kind of been a little, you know, maybe, you know, the jokes have been kind of, I guess, worn out at this point, but it is still not even jokes. It's like, yeah, I guess, I don't know if Polymarket even has, do they have, Polymarket was the only place we could find odds for the draft, chat. It's kind of crazy. Like FanDuel, DraftKings, what are you guys doing? BetStamp, can we get some odds for players to go? I guess the Cooper Flag one was not great. Maybe ESPN, we didn't check ESPN Bet, chat. We're crazy, because I feel like they have been talking on ESPN about the odds as well, so you know, where were they getting those odds, chat? They're always, and now, of course, they're always getting their odds from ESPN Bet. But, yeah, shout out to Polymarket. They had the odds. And, I mean, we could have used a little parlay right now, chat. We may have some car repairs in the mix. A little Dylan Harper, Danny Wolf, Spurs parlay. All of a sudden, bam, new transmission, chat. Let's go. But I don't know if they're going to take Danny Wolf at 14. Doesn't seem like the kind of guy that they've been evaluating for the secondary. Because, again, they've basically locked in Dylan Harper at that 2 pick, and they've been evaluating centers, it seems like, in the rest of the draft to pair with Wembanyama. So a long history of Duke number 1 overall picks as well. I don't remember the full list. Check. Can we go back on the sling here real quick? I think so. Oh, I forgot. We had the dual TVs, chat. We just activated both of them with the remote. Let's see. What was that? Because Elton Brand was the first one in the mix. Yeah, we can. Elton Brand. Oh, no, Davis was Kentucky. Kyrie, Flag, Zion. But was there one more that I'm forgetting in their chat? Oh, no, that's it. Elton Brand, Kyrie, Zion. Oh, Paolo. And then Cooper Flag. And even Zion, like Elton Brand. Yeah, Elton Brand's a baller, chat. I don't know. You know, Kyrie, obviously, I guess, however his career's played out. But still a great player. Still Hall of Famer. Still hit one of the biggest shots in NBA history. But Elton Brand's a baller, chat. Elton Brand might be a Hall of Famer, for all we know. I guess, 2-time All-Star, 1-time All-NBA is probably not quite enough. But, I mean, a lot of years of 20-plus points, chat. So, you know, that's got to be something. 8 seasons, 20 points a game, 20 and 10. Elton Brand, so that's a pretty successful number 1 overall pick. I mean, Paolo seems like he's going to be a successful number 1 overall pick as well, too. So, seems pretty safe, of course, to get Cooper Flag in this spot. I guess Shams, chat. You know, Shams way less active during the draft than Woj. So ESPN doesn't have to worry about Woj just dropping bombs on every pick and just, chat. You know, sensitive at the times. But, you know, Woj, anyways, you have to be careful about Woj spoiling the picks in the NBA draft, being like, oh, you know, I guess again, Dallas with Cooper Flag, Woj would have had to have break. And the spoiler alert would have been maybe Woj pre-lottery being like, I'm hearing that Nico Harrison redemption storylines are in play or something like that. I guess San Antonio getting up to number 2 as well. Nico Harrison, if Woj had like tweeted out, Nico Harrison redemption, Wemby teammate, and then people were like, oh, what's happening? That might have been a little too obvious. Okay, chat. Spurs up, Dylan Harper. Let's go. The Spurs select. No trade, chat. This is it. Out of Rutgers. Who would have thought a Rutgers boy, chat, would have been the guy that we would have like, yes, let's get this guy paired up with Wembanyama. So, I mean, you know, you go back to the old Spurs days. Of course, you have Tim Duncan's from Wake Forest. It's not like, and, you know, Wake Forest also has Chris Paul as well, too. So, some obviously really good. John Collins, chat. Hey, yo. But, you know, not necessarily like your traditional basketball powerhouse. And then, of course, Parker and Ginobili from overseas. So, you got Wemby from overseas. Fits that timeline. There's the Ron Harper comparisons for a guy. Oh, and I guess, chat, it didn't even dawn on me. Of course, Ron Harper, I mean, of course, the last name, but also went to Rutgers? Did he go to Rutgers, or is it just, where did Ron Harper go to college, chat? It's like, because the comparisons would be fun, but I also feel like Dylan Harper. Maybe I'm disrespecting the Ron Harper, handling abilities, Chad. But I feel like Dylan Harper's got a little bit of a better handle. So maybe Ron Harper didn't go to Rutgers back in the day. Miami, Chad. I was like, wait a second. He went to college back in the 80s. Were guys going to Rutgers in the 80s, Chad? I don't know. Maybe to play basketball. I'm not sure about that. But a red jersey, pretty similar. So, again, if he's Ron Harper, Chad, Ron Harper, very successful in multiple different versions of a career. A guy in an early Cleveland team that was really fun. Obviously the MJ shot, and they get kind of, early playoff exit. It's just like one of the teams that happened to be in the path of MJ just blazing his way to the #1 player of all time. But that team is a fun team, chat. That Cavs team is one of my sneaky favorite rosters in NBA history. It's like just a fun group. You got Larry Nance, Brad Daugherty, Mark Price, Craig Elo, and then Ron Harper in that mix as well too. I'm pretty sure all those guys played on the same team. This is my favorite lineup, chat. I don't even know what year it was, but let's see. I think all those guys. Yeah, Daugherty's another #1 pick, chat. Shout out Daugherty, but Daugherty, Harper, Price, Larry Nance, Hot Rod Williams. I mean, how do you not love a team with a guy named Hot Rod Williams? And then Tree Rollins, and Craig Elo, as well too, of course. Who, again, you look at the stats here, chat. 7 a game, not necessarily I guess great this year, but I think he was better than that throughout his career. Yeah, 13, 12 a game, 6th man of the year in. Third in that in 1993-94 in Atlanta. But his 2K rating's not bad either. Fun 2K lineup, chat. Playing with that one back in the day. Okay, so I guess this is where the draft gets interesting, chat. Philly at 3. According to Polymark, top 10. Edgecombe is locked for the top 10. I mean, a bunch of these guys obviously are locked for the top 10. But I think Edgecombe as well, too, was, of course, a favorite for the number 3 overall pick. So let's see, Polymarket chat. Slow to load here as it tries to keep up, I guess, with all the moving odds. But, I mean, him as a wing, of course, the 3 in the defense, it would definitely make a lot of sense to add him into a lineup that's trying to win now. Still a younger, of course, I mean, he's a rookie, so he fits on the timeline with Maxey and Jared McCain as well, too. You would assume it's definitely not the most the most the most size in a lineup, but it is still. Oh wait, is Dylan Harper Ron Harper's kid, chat? If Dylan Harper's Ron Harper's kid for real, then he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer, we just jinxed him. But is he actually? If he's got the NBA bloodlines, I mean, chat, lock it in. He's gonna be the Mahomes of this generation for the league. Let's see here. Can we get that confirmed? Oh my goodness, chat! This is amazing. This would be a great. I mean, Ron Harper, like we said, would be one of those guys that we wanted on the Spurs. I guess we were around in the '80s, but he would be like, it would have been fun if he would have been in a Spurs uniform at some point in NBA history. So if we had his kid, that'd be nice, as well too. But wait, am I missing it, or it's not saying? I guess we just gotta straight up ask chat. Hey yo, Dylan Harper. Ron Harper's son. Let's see what it says. Or is it just a different Ron Harper? Oh, it's a different. Okay, so there's multiple Ron Harpers, chat. Hey, yo, we got to keep this straight. They're comping him to. He's being compared to Ron Harper, but also there's another Ron Harper, I guess, that played. So did he have NBA run the same way? Let's see here, chat. Maybe it just doesn't. I guess if we search him, he's gonna pop up for the name Ron Harper Jr. Okay, let's go to college, chat. Maybe I'm. This will be the. I guess. Sorry, Philly fans. We're gonna just spend your whole pick trying to figure out who Ron Harper's dad is. But Miami. So wait, I'm so confused, chat. There's a guy that went to Rutgers. It's Ron Harper, and then there's Ron Harper, his dad. I guess two separate people. Rutgers star, Ron Harper. I guess his page doesn't. Why does his page not exist, chat? Because if there was multiple guys with the. Oh, wait a second. Oh, 90. See, yeah, it's the junior as well too. The 2019 to 2022, and I guess also Rutgers as well. Chat. So just even more confusing. Hey, yo. Ron Harper Jr. played for Rutgers. There's also a Ron Harper, but there's a Ron Harper that didn't play for Rutgers, and then Dylan Harper just got drafted by the Spurs. So either way, maybe there's NBA. Either way, he's a great pick, Chad. He's going to be a great fit in San Antonio. But like I was saying with Sam when he was on for when he called in for Game 7 chat, the NBA Finals, we were talking about the draft a little bit, and I was like, would Malik, am I saying that name right, chat? Malawach, would Malawach be a good fit here as well too? Or I know we were watching some Sorber highlights on Tuesday's live stream, last night's live stream. So would he be if they really want to get risky, chat, I don't know if you're gonna take Sorber at 3 and get go off the board that far. Would you go just trade Johnson and just say Johnson and Maxey and McCain and just try to score a bunch of points? But Malawach would be a fun pick here as well too. I guess Murphy Boyles as well, or even Asenyu, but Ace Bailey as sort of that wing, that more of that 3-4 combo wing just makes lineup sense wise fits. It makes a lot of sense next to McCain and Maxey. It's just, of course, is all of the evaluation stuff the way that you want it to be if you're Philly, or Knuppel as well too. Just gets you that baseline level production that you feel like you're going to get. But to get a center next, I feel like they could play together because Embiid, the 2 center thing is of course a little bit tricky, but Embiid has some versatility with his offensive game. And even now, Chad, like if you bring Embiid back as your center, I still would think that, okay, there's I know whatever you think for him as a player, there's still a potential, obviously, that he's still a great shot maker. There's still some scoring stuff. There's still some stuff that he's still, if we're just like sound like we're writing him off here, Chad. Okay, wait, is it Edgecombe? The 3rd pick? It's VJ, Chad. Hey, yo, whoa! Pause! It's VJ Edgecombe, one of the great names in NBA history, chat. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. I don't know if we can think about that. It's kind of a sneaky good one, chat. It's a sneaky good one. So, again, makes sense. Brings the 3-and-D skill set where you can win now. You can build him with the lineup with the 2 guys that you already have going forward. Because, again, regardless of what you have, I guess not regardless because it is a cap thing, but from a roster standpoint, that's still a great foundation to have. To be honest, like there's teams that, even with the cap space, you just go, okay, it'd be difficult to think about what position you'd pause, which team you'd rather have, which team you'd rather be, going forward in the future with the rosters, just because Maxey and McCain are such talented players. And Edgecombe makes sense next to that. But Malawach could definitely play with Embiid. He gives you some safety there as well, too. Some of the injury stuff. And like we were saying, with Embiid's shot making, if Malawach continues to be there with the defensive stuff and he can be more of the activity guy as well, too, than him and Paul George. It's interesting, chat. I don't know if, again, with the 3rd pick, if you feel like it's a little too aggressive and maybe just the 3-and-D ability is just the safest thing to go for here. If the 3-point shot hits, chat, then, it's like, okay, it's probably a decent pick at the end of the day. We got KCP. Okay, that's fine. KCP on Philly, chat, on a rookie contract. Hey, yo. So that's good. We got Dylan Harper as Ron Harper, I guess. The Cavs Ron Harper / Bulls Ron Harper. And then we have Cooper Flagg as, who is Cooper Flagg, chat? Bob Cousy? Which NBA star is he? Bob Pettit. Or Bob Pistol Pete, maybe? I don't think Bob was in his name. But Tatum, Larry Bird. I just say, yo, chat. We'll just be ignorant young guy and just say Larry Bird. Cooper Flagg's Larry Bird. There's gotta be. Oh, who was it? Somebody. Oh, Chuck Klosterman on Bill Simmons' pod said Detlef Schrempf, which was really great, chat. Again, you can start running out of white guys to compare him to, and especially at the forward position. Weirdly, pause. I don't know. Some of the guard stuff. You start going. You could get into like Ginobili as well too. Yeah, that might even start getting lit. And maybe even Ginobili's not even like a white guy guard comp. Ginobili's just like a kind of a lefty guard comp as well too. Harden, unfortunately, James Harden, and maybe fortunately, unfortunately, because Harden's play style is kind of, and not that Ginobili's isn't unique, but Harden's is like so unique where it's so one person focused that you're like, okay, is anybody actually gonna be that in the NBA? But you start definitely running out of white guy comps. But now we've got Kentavious Caldwell-Pope with the 3rd overall pick in the draft. So who's 4th, chat? Charlotte's got 4th. Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball and Mark Williams as the foundational pieces there. Still got Miles Bridges, but Nick Smith, chat. Hey, yo. And shout out Basketball Reference. They released like their in-season Wrapped on some of their most viewed pages throughout the year. And their most viewed player page just on a given day, just which player, for a single day had the most views player page. And it was Mark Williams the day the trade got overturned to the Lakers. The next 2 days were, the next 2 most viewed page days were Luka Doncic and Anthony Davis the day that trade happened. Both of those player pages individually were 2, Luka at 2 and then Davis at 3. But Mark Williams getting the trade overturned was number 1, chat. I guess maybe enough people had heard about Luka and Anthony Davis. They just threw their phones after the trade and then didn't look it up. That's probably what it was, chat. There was enough broken phones after the trade that those 2 pages didn't quite get to number 1. And I guess, both of those players as well, too, same day. Obviously that day, still the most impactful day of the year, news-wise, for sure. But, he is still, of course, a good foundational piece, a good center. In especially 2025, it feels like his value on the rookie contract with I guess is he still on a rookie contract, but on a a lower contract, if not, is still like a pretty valuable player. And I guess again going with whatever his contract situation is going forward, I don't know if that messes that up or not. But hey, yo, ESPN, keep up. We're already on pick 4. It's not even updated to the Spurs yet. But this could be, Trey Johnson is, Nick Smith 2.0, chat. Hey, yo, I guess this could be a Knuppel spot as well, too. You think Knuppel next to Brandon Miller, next to LaMelo, next to Saloon? They do like the wings. They do like those, the 3-and-D versatile wings, for sure. You have the centers, so do you go Malawach and Mark Williams? Probably not. In Charlotte, this is the first time the clock kind of runs down, chat. Philly was definitely looking for some picks, but seemed like they kind of had their eye on Edgecombe for sure. So there's not really, I guess, unless we're looking like Cedric Coward at this point, or, Knuppel starts getting into that. He gives you the 3, chat, but hey, yo, pause. Knuppel, chat, where's the D? Hey, yo. Whoa, chat. Whoa. Hey, ESPN, they're not going to allow us on their ESPN coverage for that, but, or for their draft coverage. But Igor Denham? Does Charlotte take Igor Denham here? But Trey Johnson could be interesting for that. They just want to go just straight, boom, chat. Hey, yo, pause. Boom or bust. But if they just want to go straight upside, just trying to get crazy scoring, maybe you go there. Or maybe this is, again, a Murphy Boyle spot. Then you say, okay, him, Saloon, we've got options. Who's the better one? We can trade one. We can play some of those guys together if there's... Saloon, maybe his 3-point... Because Murphy Boyles, I know the 3-point shot wasn't there in college. I don't know what that projectable looks like for him. If you didn't shoot over 30-some% in 3 in college, make no mistake, we weren't watching your highlights, chat. It's like, yeah, make no mistake. You're not going to be on the Spurs. It is what it is. But unless you're Sohan, I guess. But Sohan's an exception. Sohan's beloved, chat, in San Antonio, for sure. Sohan, we definitely weren't throwing you in trades for Giannis and Kevin Durant. Definitely didn't happen. We love this core guy. We love this core group of guys. But Bailey as well, too, again, if they want to go that way. But Bailey just, of course, feels like you don't want to say a trap player, chat, because you don't want to be disrespectful to a situation. But he definitely feels like, San Antonio if San Antonio had like the 6th pick in the draft instead of whatever our original pick was, maybe, I forget what, chat, we jumped up, of course. But like if we still had our 8th pick in the draft and Ace Bailey was there at 8, and we ended up taking him. It's still the risk, but you're like, okay, the San Antonio history of it, again, different sort of, the franchise guys, Popovich obviously not there in the same sort of role. The coach and the GM have changed, but still, you would think the franchise is still in a good spot to bring along the young talent that's maybe needs the extra organizational boost. But again, you go Charlotte, Utah, Washington, chat. I don't even know who's and then Brooklyn, and then who's 9, chat. After New Orleans is 7 after Washington, and then Brooklyn's 8, and then we're not necessarily going through a murderer's row of great places for questionable play. And then you got the Raptors. The Raptors might be the one, chap. Ace Bailey to the Raptors might actually be the destination at this point. Get that Raptors coach with having Ace Bailey's back, chat. Ace Bailey is the face of Canada. He starts saying that type of stuff. Face of the league. Get Ace Bailey in the All-Star game. He's the face of the league. Maybe that's the type of confidence he needs surrounding him. Let's just go. Can Trey Johnson and LaMelo play together? Make it happen. Make it happen. 50 points a game from the backcourt. It's a lock. Con Knipple, chat, number 4. Michael Jordan would be proud. Michael Jordan loved taking white guys, chat. Hey, yo, he loved taking white. There's not a Big Ten 6'10". Hey, yo, chat. There's not like a Big Ten power forward, say, you know, a Cody Zeller, a Frank Kaminsky. I guess, was Hansborough drafted by the Hornets? He's ACC. There wasn't that type of guy hanging around in the draft. And again, MJ's not there for Charlotte anymore, but for them to just get trapped by, and then maybe they find all of MJ's old draft notes and like, oh, this is a good idea. Let's go this route. I guess, Chad, we're sitting here in the Michigan jersey. How are we not even thinking about our guy, Danny Wolf? Danny Wolf could have been the pick for Charlotte. Absolutely. If MJ was running this team, Danny Wolf would have been the 4th overall pick. Lock it in. Or this Illinois kid as well, Jackie Konis. Whoa, he would have been number 4 for Charlotte if MJ was on this team. But Knuppel might be the one, Chad. He gives you a little bit of playmaking, gives you a little bit of offense. I don't know, again, the defense, but the defense is there for Charlotte. Charlotte is a good spot for him where, again, as much as we love the McCain and Maxey backcourt, guess what? Defense might not be that specialty as well. Maxey, I think, has some good defensive upside for sure. And, you know, so does McCain, but McCain's not going to be able to guard like 1 through 4. I don't know if McCain's going to be like a Lou Dort level defender, you know, undersized. But he could definitely guard a couple positions, you know, 1 through 3 as well, too, if he's locked in. But Charlotte does have that defensive versatility to surround Knuppel with. The playmaking of LaMelo, you know, you can have Knuppel as a secondary playmaker, playing off of Knuppel, playing off of LaMelo, playing off of Brandon Miller. And Knuppel and LaMelo is a fun just name as well, too. Kind of combination. So stays in the Charlotte area as well. Stays in the North Carolina area. Playing for the franchise there. That's a good pick. It's a safe pick. I think with the core that they have building there, Charles Lee, a great coach, can maximize the most of his players. You know, you get a solid guy. Pause. Utah, on the other hand, somebody just take Trey Johnson. Utah or Washington or maybe New Orleans, any of these teams, Chad. Somebody get our guy Trey Johnson. Yeah, we put him in the tier of we want another team to take a chance on him. He definitely scares us the most of could be the best player outside of Dylan Harper. I do got to say, Chad, of like the immediate guys that we were watching just in this next list, because, again, just somebody could jump up as well, too. It could be, I mean, Sam's guy, Cedric Howard. It could be, you know, our guy, Danny Wolf. Hey, yo, it could be Walter Clayton. Drake Powell had the vertical leap, the number 1 vertical leap in the draft. Drake Powell all of a sudden becomes like, you know, somebody could just randomly ascend, or, you know, will ascend, of course, to be a better player than they were drafted at. But of those immediate guys right after Dylan Harper, it does seem like Trey Johnson has the most, upside for the scoring type stuff. He's a scary level player. And, again, Knuppel, Chad, I guess, could be a 20 a game guy. I guess Reeves, of course, is definitely an outline there for the playmaking and the offensive scoring, if that continues to develop, for sure. But you don't necessarily need him as well to be that type of guy immediately, but if he develops into a little bit more. And, you know, the LaMelo thing is interesting. I think Charlotte really likes him. I think they like the franchise corner piece that he is there and the marketable player that he is. But you just never know as well, too. Oh, chat, the Knuppel family, they've got all... Hey, yo, chat. Hey, yo. Can they pick a different letter than K to just name all of their kids? I mean, Con Knuppel's got a nice ring to it. We've all been saying it, I think, pretty unproblematically for several months now. I think, you know, the Knuppel part has been the funnier part. But Cash, Kager, Con, Kingston, and Kidman. I mean, you can't say all of your initials, the kids' initials, back to back to back. It's impossible. I mean, we're better than that now, Chad. It is what it is. You got to pick a different letter. I get the last name is in effect. You got to go CK or something. Hey, oh, Chad. Speaking uncancel, I guess. But, you know, CK's out. Shout out, Chad. But Utah as well, too, is letting the time expire here as we get the top 5, I guess, sorted out, Chad. And we knew what these players were going to be. It's just sort of the order at this point of getting these guys figured out. Ace Bailey, do they go the high school pedigree? Malawatch, they could go. Again, Malawatch, our guy, I think he's the safest guy. Him and Knuppel, Chad. The Duke players are the safest players in the draft. If you want to build a team, a safe team, Chad, just draft all the Duke guys. Maybe it's a 35-win team. Maybe it's a 52-win team. Cooper Flanagan Knuppel as a 1-2. Malawatch as a 3. Sion James. Proctor, nobody has faith in, chat, but make no mistake, we'll be supporting Proctor on night 2 of the NBA draft. Hey, is he not getting taken tonight, chat? Whoa! Proctor, I don't know if you got a green room invite, but it's not about that, chat. It's about afterwards. It's about the career. It's about the summer league performance to get our stock up. But shout out to Jay Billis on the call as well too. You know, they're always mixing up the broadcast around him, chat. But Jay Billis is like the old manager at the restaurant where you just like go back every year and you're like, oh, Jay Billis still works here. Look at that. There's Jay Billis just behind the bar, still cooking away, chat. Still mixing drinks, better every year. But yeah, more love, chat. Better every year. Watch more college basketball under his belt. Just great stuff, chat. I think actually Perk and Andrea Carter were on the draft last year. Now that I think about it, because obviously Andrea Carter on all the WNBA coverage and stuff as well too. But I think on the college stuff, I think she was in the draft, and you know on the NBA stuff as well too. But I think she was really good on the draft last year. Hey yo, shout out Perk. I don't remember if Perk was on the draft. It is what it is. Was Perk in, or was it like Andre Carter and Shanae on the NBA draft last year? Which honestly, like, why is she not at the table, chat? I guess is there maybe like a game or something she's calling her? Who knows what the schedule is? I guess for all the assignments. But again, there's always such a chemistry with that when that group is together, chat. So it's good times. You know, nobody else basically I think likes each other at ESPN. I'm not saying that. I guess I'm not saying there's major beefs at ESPN, but I don't think anybody else is that good of friends at ESPN, at least in the NBA coverage side of things. So just get them hanging out, chat. It's that old Simmons, Jalen Rose sort of vibe. Just like, hey, it's two buddies just hanging out. Two people, just friends hanging out, watching basketball. Ace Bailey, chat, number 5 to Utah. Hey, yo. I don't know if that's what he wanted, but I mean, I guess at the end of the day, he wanted to be a top 5 pick. I guess, you know, the team is what we were saying. But I don't think it was about the team, chat. I think it was about, okay, wait, what's that salary cap structure for the NBA draft? We need to be in the top 5? His mother played at West Virginia. Okay, chat. He's also got the athletic. I mean, you assume that. I mean, everybody's going to have some athletic bloodlines in there. But the actual Division 1 to professional translation of the skills is, of course, the next level of it as well. So Ace Bailey having that, of course, in the history is always a nice thing to have. But, I mean, if you look at the tape and you look at the good highlights and you think if there is a commitment to some of the defensive stuff with any of these guys, with his three-point shooting ability, there is no reason that he can't be at least a 3 in defense, rebounding, impactful. You know, Jabari Smith is kind of floated out there, and again, there's multiple types of players that Jabari Smith can be, multiple levels of impact and lineup. So, like, is there a version where, yeah, maybe Jabari Smith is like a 7th man on the roster? You know, do you want to pick your 7th man on the roster in the top 5? Again, Jabari Smith was a top 3 pick. It's like, okay, I get it, but if there is, I'm also, again, I don't mind that for a baseline for your guy as well too, because you know it's a lot better than he's just not in the rotation. And at the end of the day, you know, like we're saying, maybe you're a 13th. You know, the Spurs have 2 and 14. Maybe Danny Wolf is the guy that makes the Hall of Fame, and Dylan Harper. It's like, oh, you know, Dylan Harper was a really nice 7th man for the Spurs, beloved Spurs player. Like, you just never know how it works out. I mean, you know, we always talk, and you know, Keldon Johnson obviously hasn't made like a ton of All-Star teams yet, but we always talk about that Keldon Johnson draft where the Spurs took Samanic with the 17th pick, I think, and then Keldon Johnson with the 29th pick. And I hated the fact hate is a strong word. I would if they had asked me, I would not have agreed with taking Samanic at 17, but I would have taken Keldon Johnson at 17, and I would have taken Samanic at 29 if he was still there. So it's like, okay, we got both the guys, but it just is not in the right order. Sometimes it just works out, chat, with the team building stuff. You know, you never know how it all finds out. I mean, Oklahoma City is actually, again, another example of that on a bigger scale where obviously the 11th pick in the draft for the Clippers becomes their best player. But in the Jalen Williams draft, I mean, Jalen Williams was the 7th overall pick still. Was he 7th or maybe it was Sohan was the 7th or 8th pick in that draft? Getting that mixed up, chat. Let me see here. 12th overall pick in the draft. So either way, point proven, chat. You know, Chet was the 3rd pick in that draft, or 2nd pick in that. You know, top 2, top 3 pick in the draft, and Jalen Williams was end of the lottery pick in the draft, and Jalen Williams ends up being the guy that scores 40 points in the finals game. And again, Chet's a perfectly great player. Chet still has all of the upside as that pick that you would want. You know, you go back and it'd be like, yeah, we'd be happy to take Chet at number 2 again. But Jalen Williams ended up being the star player that they needed to be that number 2 guy, and he was their 12th pick. So you just never know how it plays out sometimes. You never know the roles. And if Ace Bailey can be a 7th man on the team, if there's a commitment to that, that's fine. I'm not saying that that's the goal. But it's a long way around it, chat. Hey, yo, if you look at the upside that he's provides, I think it is kind of undeniable that he is in that top tier of upside. And I guess, you know, we said that, and I don't take back what I said about Trey Johnson scaring me the most for any of the players. I think Ace Bailey is very scary as well, too. I think Trey Johnson is the most scary. But, again, it's the same. And maybe even Bailey is a little safer as well, too, to be that type of 6th, 7th man on an impactful team as well, compared to a guy like Trey Johnson where, you know, does Trey Johnson have like a whiff of Bones Highlands there, Chad? Hey, yo, I don't know. Where it's like, okay, he could be the 6th man on a team. Is it Cam Thomas, though? Or a little some empty calorie numbers at times? Or is he going to be a really great 6-man, impactful, electric scorer? Who's the microwave, chat? Is that Vinny Johnson? I think it's Vinny Johnson, but Mark Aguirre was also on those Pistons team as well, too. I think they may have been traded for each other. Let's see. Oh, chat, Jordan Poole. That's not right. I don't think that's right. Is it just microwave, maybe? Vinny Microwave Johnson? Let's see here. Okay, chat, it's just microwave. That's a close one. Hey, yo. Basketball Reference has got to be a little bit better than that. Vinny Johnson's, I mean, no disrespect to Jordan Poole. You know, he's making an iconic career for himself as well, too, chat. Iconic heat check guy as well. I guess that's why he's got the microwave name. But, I mean, Vinny Johnson is the microwave, chat. The OG microwave. The OG VJ. The OG VJ, Vinny Johnson. Shout out. Mookie. Whoa. Mookie, chat. VJ Mookie Johnson. But, yeah, so Detroit. And San Antonio. Played his last year in San Antonio. Scored 8 points a game. Shout out. Love to see it. Vinny Johnson. Honestly, Vinny Johnson, there is I guess we'd have to do the real all-time stuff. But if it counts where we get the best version of all the guys, Chad, there is Vinny Johnson could be a sneaky, like, 13th man on the Spurs all-time roster. I think there's a case, for sure, as well. But, yeah, I guess he didn't necessarily get traded, though. So I guess he was there for their title run a little bit later. But I guess that wasn't. Oh, Dantley maybe was the guy. I think Aguirre was the guy that they brought in, and another former number 1 overall pick, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 1981 draft. So was at Dallas. Yeah, then got traded to Detroit in 88-89. And then, of course, they won the finals in 88-89 and in 89-90, the year after that. But he was 25 a game those last 2. I mean, 29 a game in Dallas. He was cooking in Dallas. And then moved into a little bit of a different role in that Detroit team. Let's see what he was traded for back in the day. The pick is in for Washington, chat. The pick is in. This is interesting. We should pay attention. This is a fun team here that they are potentially assembling if this pick hits. Oh, yeah, so Dantley was the guy that was on the Pistons and the Mavs traded for him. And to be honest, chat, people say that, again, like, that's the trade that made that's one of the trade that made the Pistons. And I get it. Like, obviously, there is proof. They went on to win 2 titles. But I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I think there's also the timing of it as well. Do you say that? I don't know, the way that some of the Celtics teams looked at that time. Like, I'm going to have to go do a whole deep dive on the 80s to prove that this Adrian Dantley trade was, you know, that the Pistons could have won the title with Adrian Dantley. Because if Adrian Dantley had 2 titles, I mean, you know, top 20 player of all time. I don't know if that's the case. But maybe top 35 is not too far off. Anyways, but... Oh, wait. Is there, like, the alternate Stephen A. cast, or do they just cut him on the couch, chat? It is what it is. But the draft, chat, we're not disrespecting our guy Jay Billis for the draft. It is what it is. Maybe last year we tuned into the ESPN one. Maybe, or the Stephen A. one. Maybe that's why I don't remember the normal desk broadcast the same way. But if there is 2 separate ones, it doesn't matter. We're not switching, chat. Or no. Where's Stephen A. at, chat? Do they just cut? Maybe he's not doing it this year. Who knows? But if there isn't, then it doesn't matter. We will just commit to Jay Billis because, again, Jay Billis is our draft expert that we rely on. Oh, Jace Richardson has moved into the top 10, chat. So, oh, wait a second. We're not disrespecting our Michigan fandom here. But, I mean, what do you do? Jace Richardson, chat. It is what it is. We'll just ignore the Michigan State team there. And Trey Johnson goes to Washington. So I kind of had a feeling, chat, that when they traded Jordan Poole, it's like, okay. I mean, they're really trading for him for not a lot of future stuff. So that 6th pick maybe points to the type of player that they're trying to take there and give him the minutes. And Trey Johnson is a little Jordan Poole-esque, and you reset the salary in a different way. You know, Trey Johnson now on the rookie contract. And again, to be honest, with this core that they were building, like Jordan Poole was kind of a fun guy to have in this core because of his shooting ability, of his heat check and scoring ability. Obviously, as a lead guy, it's like there's some bigger picture stuff there about building a team around him. But if for the Wizards, it's like, okay, we need a guy to just get points at some time. Jordan Poole is definitely a fun player, but Trey Johnson can still give you that. And again, I don't want to disrespect Jordan Poole as well, too. I mean, the man's shown himself to be impactful in the playoffs at times. And, you know, can Trey Johnson even get to the levels that Jordan Poole can? Again, Jordan Poole's a good player. But the Wizards, this is an interesting pick because this Wizards team is a really fun group of guys that is like, okay, is there like a franchise cornerstone there quite yet? But is definitely the makings of a piece of like of a team of like somebody's might want to play with this group of guys. And maybe that is also the route that I think we might see starting to get built a little bit more as well too. And I know assembling some of the extra picks is a part of that. Like we have like 17 first-round picks to be able to trade for a guy. But also, if you have a little bit of cap space or a couple of contracts that you can move as well, if we have a group of talented players that are versatile around a star, maybe we become a more attractive destination than like, are we always taking a swing on these types of players? And Trey Johnson is like actually like that swing type of guy. So again, if we were looking like a Malawatch, if he was there, if they wanted to go a center next to Sarr and maybe try to see it a little, you know, if Knipple had been there at 6 as well too. I mean, you know, Knipple again with his 3-point shooting would have been a starting to get a coveted guy outside the top 5. But I like the swing here, chat. And him and Bub Carrington is interesting. I think that's a sneaky. I don't know if you know that might actually be the starting backcourt. Okay, they're doing the Texas players draft from Texas. Tristan Thompson, LaSalle Thompson, Mo Bamba. Okay, Durant Aldridge, and I guess Trey Johnson. Okay, Durant Aldridge. I mean, makes sense. I mean, Tristan Thompson won a title, I guess. LaSalle Thompson. I mean, and shout out Mo Bamba. I mean, I'm sure LaSalle Thompson was a great player, chat. 83-97. Let's see what we got here. Where are the All-Stars? 7.9 points a game for his career. 50% from the field, though. So, I mean, a man's basically a walking bucket as well. What do we got? A center? Yeah, a center, chat. Shout out. So, I guess University of Texas, 5th overall pick as well, too. So, I guess, you know, notable top draft picks for the University of Texas. But again, that's a sneaky, like, that might be the most underrated name backcourt for a starting backcourt, unless I guess the Jazz backcourt. I'm not even sure who the other player on the Jazz is outside of, what do they got? Is it technically Sexton and Keontae George? I guess is their backcourt, but are both those guys, I don't even know, it's like their starter minutes, who's off the bench, who's their 6th man there. You know, what are they going to try to sign a guy? I guess Ace Bailey's a forward now, so he's not necessarily messing up the guard minutes there. Oh, what about our guy Taylor Hendricks, chat? Is Taylor Hendricks going to be able to play minutes with Ace Bailey? I think ideally, again, both those guys in 2025, you just think, okay, all of our forwards, I guess we play together. You know, we need one guard, maybe one center and or one forward who can be a center if we need him to be. Maybe Hendricks is your small ball 5, and then Ace Bailey's your forward, chat. Uh-oh. I kind of like that. I guess we're trading Markin in this situation as well, too, not mentioning him in the lineup. Oh, Jordan Clarkson, I guess. But if we're going more long-term, okay, you got Collins. But, yeah, and, you know, I guess, is John Collins going to get you a protected first, chat? Maybe. Whoa. Use some protection in a John Collins trade. It's probably the best course of action. But, yeah, so, but either way, yeah, so Clarkson and Keontae George. But I get people would, I guess if we're technically saying Clarkson is the starter, and even Colin Sexton, like, those guys are veterans. Like, people know those guys. I mean, Clarkson was on the Lakers. So, and on the Cavs as well, too, with LeBron. I mean, there's a little bit of Sexton, LeBron name overlap with the trades and stuff being involved. So, I feel like people definitely know those guys. I feel like Trey Johnson, you know, again, Texas basketball. are people necessarily watching Texas basketball? I mean, I don't even necessarily remember where Bub Carrington went. He played in the ACC. Was he a Tech? Was he Pitt? I think Bub Carrington went to Pitt, actually. Am I crazy? Hey, yo, chat. But, he went to a small ACC school. People aren't watching Bub Carrington in college. People aren't watching Trey Johnson in college. People aren't watching the Wizards in the NBA. But that's a fun backcourt. I would definitely like that. Hey, yo, whoa. If I was building an NBA team, I would not be mad if they're like, okay, mystery box, your backcourt is Trey Johnson and Bub Carrington. I'd kind of be like, oh, yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's see what kind of wings we can get in here. Do I have maybe a forward like Alex Sarr? Oh, perfect. Perfect. This is great. A defensive, maybe a little bit of perimeter game. So just enough offense. Just enough. Yeah, again, not just enough, but just enough of all the different spots on the court to have a versatile offensive game, and then the defensive impact continuing to show, chat. I'm a Wizards fan. I have Wizards stock. The Wizards are going to be the 8th seed, and they need to make a trade. But McCollum and Middleton as vets, we're forgetting about that, chat. You've got McCollum and Middleton there to try to get you 32 wins. The Pelicans at 7. They just brought in Jordan Poole. Oh, Jeremiah Fears. Oklahoma, chat. The rival schools. Back-to-back. Fears, a little undersized at the guard position. I think Sam Vecini on Brian Marcello's pod said Darius Garland. He was throwing that out as more of like a, how do you build a team around that type of player? Darius Garland is, the same sort of physical attributes and same sort of question marks in terms of the defensive two-way stuff. So I don't know offensively if he plays the game similarly, but I did see something that he wears the number 0 because he wants the back of his jersey to read Zero Fears. He's got the 0 chain on right now, chat. So a player with that type of comment on, I think that's a great upside pick. I mean, again, New Orleans, they just bring in Jordan Poole as well too. So you got a veteran there to take up some minutes while Jeremiah Fears continues to get his game better. I guess the question would be, is the Pelicans the best spot for him here, chat? Let's see. Is that the question for any prospect that would have gone here? They do have Missy as well too. Zion, he's gonna be in his own thing here, there, chat. We don't really know, of course, what's happening there. But Trey Murphy, you got Trey Murphy. Where's Trey Murphy at, chat? Cap hold. Oh, there he is. 20, 25, 27, 29, 31 for the next 4. So you got Murphy, because, DeJounte, Murphy, and CJ and Zion. It's a little bit of a mystery or I guess in CJ as well, too. Like I said, just got traded for Poole. So, resetting. You've got Poole, and Olynyk, I guess, was in that trade. But owns Jordan Hawkins. So Jordan, I guess Fears is like your point guard next to Hawkins as your off-ball creator. Hawkins is kind of like a unique sort of run him around to screen type scorer. Drafting, I mean, Jordan Hawkins kind of course, a Buddy Hield-esque character. So both of those guys could definitely play together if Fears had I would say if Fears had the three-point shooting consistency, but, Hawkins projects as a good three-point shooter, not maybe enough to cover up for the both of them, but you think stylistically the type of offense that you could run, again, focusing, we're like, okay, we're going to be generating three-point shots for Hawkins. So there's going to be a effort to get three-point looks because, again, you're running offense for that type of, the type of player that he is. A little throwbacky with the Korver, JJ Redick type runaround game a little bit. So Fears creating for that type of player, slashing, Murphy as well too as a spacer, and then Missy in the center. There is something there, Chad. There is something there. And it really does, it goes to show you how talented the league is, because it like a lot of these guys and a lot of the fits and a lot of the upside here is really great. And you're just like, okay, is a lineup like that, like what is the long-term upside of that lineup specifically? Like, who knows? Is that going to be a lineup that has, and if Murphy continues to ascend, if Herb Jones, like, who knows, again, who the best player actually is going to end up being. But is that a title-type lineup? But it's also a really good lineup, and not even a title-type lineup. Is that going to be a playoff lineup in the West? And maybe just the West is so competitive, or, more competitive than the East, that it's like in flux almost a little bit. But, could be like outside of, OKC, like right away, who do you feel the best about as contending teams in the West? I think Sam, in on Luka, chat, for sure. So, definitely hot take. Trust Luka's competitiveness in the Western Conference next season. And you're going to have to, of course, trust Jokic's ability in the Western Conference as well. But, I mean, this is a tough time to try to build a team, chat. The lineups have to be crazy. I mean, the talent has to be so good. Even, like we're saying, Jokic himself got upseeded by that Thunder team. And you had Dort just playing at crazy levels, Caruso playing at crazy levels, Caruso literally guarding Jokic at times, and that Jalen Williams scoring 40 points in the finals. So, shout out Jeremiah Fears, chat. Hey, zero fears. Not right now. Not in 2025. Definitely time to be fearful. So, he was a little bit of a, could he have been 7? Could he have been 17? Was there a little bit of a range for him in the draft? Definitely wasn't a lock top 10 guy, I would say. So, Maluach still on the board at Brooklyn. Probably not going to take Maluach. Feels like, maybe they do take Maluach. I feel like they kind of like his type of player. But between Clowney and Claxton, they're like, okay, well, we're going to replace one of those guys. So, we'll need Maluach to slide in there. And they're making the 8th pick, so Brooklyn couldn't even use more picks to trade up. So, maybe that does speak to the talent at the top of the draft as well, too. I mean, with the Spurs, all the picks in the 20s, probably not. You start going, Philly, that would have been interesting. If you gave all your picks to Philly to move up to 3 to get Edgecombe, if you're Brooklyn, does that make sense to invest in that type of player again once we move, if you're not going to move up into the top 2 for one of those franchise guys? So if you're looking then, I mean, again, Johnson, like if the Wizards were already trading Jordan Poole for Trey Johnson, then would they trade back now a couple of spots? Because 2 spots for a pick in the 20s, maybe 1 or 2, 2 of them would be a little aggressive, but definitely one of them would be an interesting move. But again, they just made the move as well, too, to acquire the ability to be able to bring in that type of guard. So then you're looking, okay, well, now we're only trading up 1 spot for a 20 pick. So maybe the fact they couldn't get Charlotte to move at 4, if you had moved up 3 spots, and let's see here, 26 and 27 to move up 3 spots, or honestly 19 as well too. 19 to move up to 19, and again you're getting 7 to move up to 4. Charlotte must have really liked Knipple for sure. And I guess how much did Brooklyn like Knipple? Did Brooklyn really want Ace Bailey? They get in front of the Jazz, so they must just want the maneuverability, the assets. They must not have a big degree of separation in the board as well too, outside of maybe the top end talent. So Colin Murphy-Boyles now number 1 on the ESPN board, next to Maluach, next to Noah Asengyung, Igor Denham, and Asa Newell. So maybe this is a Newell spot, chat. You're thinking you're probably going to be trading Cam Johnson in the season. Make no mistake, there's going to be callers. Maybe there's callers in the summer as well too for Cam Johnson. So, or what am I saying? Cam Johnson, yeah. So here we go, chat. 8th pick, Brooklyn Nets, Igor Denham. There we go. I feel like Brooklyn does like a little international guy, chat. They took Kurucs back in the day. I think, were they the team that took Kurucs? Shout out. I don't even remember what draft Kurucs was in, chat, but they took Kurucs. They took another guy as well too, and I'm forgetting his name, but there was another guy like that. They took like multiple years. Oh, Zanin Musa, chat. I mean, I remember these. I remember Musa because I thought Musa was going to be good. I didn't have a lot of Kurucs stock, but I had a lot of Musa stock. And Denham as a playmaker does seem nice as well too. Signed with Real Madrid at 15 years old. Whoa, so he's got a little bit of the Luka, chat. The Wemba. Wemby. A little bit of the Wemby in the game. The pro game. The super young high school pro game. First team all Big 12 as a freshman. Big creator as well too, who, again, maybe positionally can play a forwardy type position if you're going to be trading guys, or can slot into your lineup as well too. Doesn't necessarily take shots away from Cam Thomas, chat. They're building this team around Cam Thomas. They actually are. Because you're bringing in a guy that's a playmaker. You're like, Cam Thomas has the scoring. He's got this on lock. Brooklyn, chat. Ayo, I'm looking for the Nets. We should look for BK. Here we go. Shout out Brooklyn. Terrence Mann inquired in the trade as well too, so we can't forget about that Claxton, Clowney, Whitehead, Jalen Williams, Maxwell Lewis. How can we forget about Maxwell Lewis? Drew Timmy. Shout out to Drew Timmy. But yeah, Maxwell Lewis, Jalen Wilson is kind of fun. I mean, chat, this Nets team is a blank slate. Hey, yo, LaMarcus Aldridge is a cap hold? They have a cap hold on 40-year-old LaMarcus Aldridge? How's that even possible? Hey, yo, you would assume the Spurs would be the team with the cap hold on him if a team would randomly have one. I think the Spurs were the last team that he played for, but apparently not. D'Angelo Russell, also a free agent. Where's D'Angelo Russell? You know what? I don't know what the Spurs are going to have in free agency, who the moves are going to be, what the in-season moves are going to be as well, too, but D'Angelo Russell. I don't know if I'm allowed to invite people to the Spurs, but if I am, Chad, I'm using my invitation to invite D'Angelo Russell. Hey, yo, I tried inviting Giannis. I tried inviting Durant. It was not working out, so maybe D'Angelo Russell will show up. I feel like Mitch Johnson will do a good job of like, oh, D'Angelo Russell's not. And the Spurs, maybe the youthful, maybe he goes in this team. He's like, I'm the veteran. I got it, guys. I'll show you how to win in the NBA. I've been on the Lakers, but maybe he just is like, okay, this is a young team. It's Wemby's. Maybe it's like a new day for D'Angelo Russell, where you're like, okay, here is, and not to be disrespectful, again, I'm saying this from a pro D'Angelo Russell stance, yo, Chad, but where you're like, okay, look at this, here's the next generation of the NBA, D'Angelo Russell, you want to keep playing? Like, these guys are right on your heel, and there's defense here, there's cheaper contracts, so play with some, get in a lineup with some of these guys, get some energy. We need maybe a little guard help as well, too. I guess maybe not now with Dylan Harper in the mix, but as some of the younger guys continue to develop, like, we're going to need some guys here. So I'm just saying, like, if he needs a home, we got a home for D'Angelo Russell. But Deron Sharp, they could definitely bring back in restricted free agency. And I guess Cam Thomas is a restricted free agent. But maybe they're thinking Denham can be just kind of a baseline build around type player, or it is just, we got best player available. We really have to just go in any direction with the 8th pick. So maybe that's why they just want to take all 4 of their picks, Chad. Because then you're thinking, what do we do with the cap holds? Like, as much as I said, like, we like Deron Sharp. Is he unreplaceable here in some of those later picks? If now all of a sudden you're going to start paying 10, 12, 15 minutes, and you're Brooklyn, what are you paying for? And you have cap space as well, too. But and I guess, when is our guy Danny Wolf, Chad, going to get in the range here? But are there centers? Yeah, so, like, you take Maxwell Renaud instead of... And I guess, like, you already have Clowney and stuff, so you're like, maybe we just... And Clowney, and who's the other guy that they took? Oh, yeah, Clowney was the guy that they took. Claxton's the guy that I'm thinking, of course, that they already have. So maybe you just think, okay, like, those are our centers going forward instead of Sharp. Even though, again, Sharp is kind of fun, Chad. If... somebody, dude, the Spurs, we're going to get the guys that don't re-sign with Brooklyn. I don't know if that's going to be us building a championship team, but I don't know, there's some names there, Chad. So we've got Toronto, number 9, 75 seconds left, 75 seconds on the clock. We've got who's going to be paired with Scotty Barnes. Ace Bailey, our dream Ace Bailey pairing, I guess, is off the board at this point. So we're in the Malawatch range. Asenu has shot up the draft boards as well too, Chad. A Noah Ascension? I don't know if we got that. A Noah Ascension? Ascension? I don't know. We're not Norman, chat, but Mark Norman, shout out. But he is fired up the draft boards for sure. So his poly market odds to be in the top 10. I was like, whoa, he's a top 10 pick. But I guess the wing stuff is what people like. I don't know what the 3-point game is like for him as well too. And then King as well is interesting. I guess just the Suns being sort of like, okay, this team's in cap hell, but they're going to probably be a bad team. Like, let's just get Derek King there. But Derek King could be fun on this Raptors team, honestly. Like, they do have a lot of those wings and guards and playmakers. And I know you got Pirtle there as well. Like, Pirtle and King could play together depending on how Queen, Derek King, chat, cancel us now. It's like, okay, his last name has to be King, but Derek Queen, shout out. If he's got some perimeter game, like him and Pirtle's a good playmaker. He's a good mover. He knows how to operate, and he knows where to find space. So you think him and King would? Chat, I don't know why I have it stuck on my mind now as King, but who is that, Chad? That's definitely somebody. Hopefully it's not like, you know, somebody with a troubling story that I'm remembering this name. Maybe it's an athlete. Let's see. Former Canadian professional ice hockey left winger who currently serves as assistant coach for the Chicago Blackhawks. Okay, this is not the guy that I would have been thinking of for Derek King, I guess. But yeah, I don't really know why that name is stuck in the old head chat. But it is what it is. Derek Queen from Maryland. So pick is in, but yeah, I guess that I think Pirtle might be a expiring contract as well too. I mean, he's got to be close, chat. Ayo, like who was giving Pirtle a 7-year deal? There's got to be something. I guess the Spurs. So, he's got a player option next year for 19. That could be interesting. That is, is he going to get multiple years of 20 million next year? At 30 plus years old, he might be accepting that. Not necessarily a bad trade asset at 20 million as well too. And sometimes you just need a number, chat. You just need a number to get a deal done, for sure. And again, especially the two apron era, with the way it's like, okay, we might just have like an expensive guy at 50 million and then a bunch of $6 million guys. Our ability to make a trade becomes neutralized in a weird way. So 9th pick, here we go. Wait, who we got? Murphy Boyles, chat. They go with the, I mean, again, that would be a Raptors-y player right there. Scotty Barnes? Is Scotty Barnes replacement? Murphy Boyles, I don't think he's the playmaker that Scotty Barnes is, but he is an interesting type of guy. I guess Draymond was the comps that we were reading about him, chat. But shout out the Ringer. We're going to have to go back to the Ringer and just read, or we might have to pull up some Murphy Boyles highlights here to see what they're getting. Because, again, that maybe is a fit one. So I don't know if Derek King's a better fit than Murphy Boyles is for the Raptors. Let's see. Again, maybe Malawatch there for sure. Asenyu. Fears would have been, I guess, interesting. Fears and Quickly. Kasparis, Carter Bryant, Cedric Coward. Now it's just like, Cedric Coward just becomes sort of the VJ edge coach. There's a KCP in every tier of guys, chat. It's like, okay, well, this guy shoots threes and plays defense. Let's just take that guy. He's pretty good at it. So Cedric Coward is the new VJ edge coach of the draft at this point. And then it'll be Asa Newell, and then it'll be Jace Richardson maybe as we continue to go down. But I guess Igor Denham on the Tankathon list, according to Tankathon, outdrafted a little bit. So Carter Bryant, Kasparis is sliding down around as well too. Carter Bryant would have been interesting here, but they probably are in love with maybe more. I think maybe Murphy Boyle's defense a little bit more. But let us remember his game here real quick. 12th overall. Burley Tweener, who's elite defensive processing and nuanced offensive playmaking, will draw an inevitable Draymond comparison. So I guess again, if we're drafting based on comparisons, and Draymond's obviously a good comparison, but you think a Draymond style player playing next to Scotty Barnes, not a lot of 3-point shooting, but if the defense and the playmaking, again, if playmaking and movement are there, that can make up for a lot of it. And defense, we just literally saw this in the NBA Finals. The Pacers were a really good 3-point shooting team in the playoffs, and that definitely helped power them. But the Thunder were not. And the Thunder were an elite defensive team who had an elite scorer, but maybe it's more like they had an elite ability to get a bucket, where maybe if there was a little bit more balance as well too, you're able to make up for it in a way. Again, like the Celtics last year. The Celtics, elite defense, elite way to get a bucket. Tatum and Brown were awesome. Brown in stretches, Tatum in stretches, but both of those guys ended up being awesome in the playoffs as well. So if you have guys that can play defense, play make, move around, high IQs, it can definitely all work for sure. So I'm not against this as well too, Chad. It might not be a smart idea trying to pitch the idea of Merce. Okay, wait. It says. Let me retake that, Chad. It might not be a smart move trying to pitch the idea of Murphy Boyles in an elevator. Whoa! Brutal first sentence in the scouting report, Chad. Danny Chow, just the run, Ricky, run, bang, 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 Chad. Hey, yo. Just calling Murphy Boyles is down. Danny Chow in the scouting report is out firing. He's a remarkable defender who... Okay, we're back on track. He's a remarkable defender who blends instinct with intelligence with strength. Cal-like reflexes, lateral agility. That's unique for his frame, but he's a tweener. So maybe they just think that, again, they have a lot of versatility in the lineup already. They're just going to be a lineup. They're going to commit to the tweenerness. Tweenerness of the lineup? Hey, yo, chap. Don't cancel us for that. But maybe they were wanting Pirtle around there as well, too. Positional grouping. Let's get it. And we forgot they got Brandon Ingram, chat. Not Brandon Miller, Brandon Ingram in free agency. Traded for him and then signed him. 38, 40, and 41 million on the player option. Little cap hold on Will Barton, chat. Phoenix Suns. If Bobo is not on the NBA Europe team, I don't know what the NBA is doing. They are missing an opportunity. Spotrack, why are you not loading? What's going on here? Oh, the page isn't working. Chat, we got to clear our cookies? Hey, yo. What's going on here? Spotrack is down for the count. Okay, chat. Real GM. Here it is, unless it's just, of course, our computer as well, too. There is a very good case. Let's see. Draft night, chat. Murphy Boyles. Oh, we got the full breakdown. Maybe this is the place to be. We got comps. We just need comps. That's it. Then we can picture it all. It'll all work. Teams, chat. Let's see. Teams, Raptors. Where are we going? We should mention as well, too, Rockets on the clock at 10. But, of course, this pick is going to Phoenix in the Durant trade. So, Jace Richardson, Kasparis, Derek Queen, chat. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. We'll see who it ends up being. But we are currently probably many picks behind at this point. Looking for Toronto at number 9. Toronto at number 9. Get this roster pulled up here. Canada's team, chat. Shout out Masai. Abaji. I forgot about Abaji, too. Abaji is nice. We like Abaji on this team. Oh, a couple of two-way players. Jacoby Walter last year. I forgot about Walter. So they kind of don't compromise that pick as well, too. Again, some of the guards were off the table at this point. Maybe Kasparis is a little, like, takes some of the, not the same type of player, but maybe positionally takes the same, takes some of those opportunities away. But you still have the opportunity for, it's an interesting team, chat. Jacoby Walter, Emmanuel Quickly, Grady Dick, Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, Abaji. Can we get a better positional sort than this? I don't know, chat. I just, want to see the lineups out there as well, too. Not just necessarily the full roster. But I guess we can picture it as well. So, yeah, they do. I guess Pirtle is the only. That's the easy one, chat. Really the only listed center. So that would have been, again, an easy just sort of, this guy is needed on the roster, but just a lot of guys outside of that as well, too. And if they want to run the Mogbo and then, Chris Boucher smaller ball lineups, I guess, and Castleton as well, too. I don't know what his future on the team is necessarily. But, oh, wait, here's the depth chart. I'm an idiot. It's right here. So, yeah, Pirtle, Castleton, Barnes for the forward, Abaji. So they're going Grady Dick in the starting lineup, RJ Barrett, Abaji, Scotty Barnes, Pirtle for the starters. Quickly, Roden for the shooting guard. Was he playing a lot last year? I don't know if he was. That would have been in the time when we tuned out on Raptors games, chat. But Battle, Mabogdo, and Castleton in the front court as well. So there's definitely some front court minutes to go around. I mean, honestly, again, Scotty Barnes, Murphy Boyles. Maybe Scotty Barnes goes to your small ball 5, and you just were playing Scotty Barnes, Murphy Boyles, and Abaji all together. But here we go. It's Malawach. So Malawach is the center to the Phoenix Suns, chat. Next to Booker, next to Jalen Green, next to, I guess, is Nick Richards a free agent? I think he might be, chat. I think Nick Richards is going to the Lakers. I think it's what it is, unless the Lakers don't have their pick tonight. Are the Lakers on the clock tonight? No, the Lakers pick is also going to Brooklyn, chat. Everybody's pick is in Brooklyn, so sorry, no teammates joining Luka Doncic and LeBron tonight, chat. It is what it is. Jace Richardson in this mock, so close. He's like, does he still get a Lakers hat? That'd be kind of sick. You still get the, the random hat. Because I don't know if that'd be more, I guess if the trade happens, it would have to happen pre-draft night, of course, for that, or on draft night for that to still happen either way. Or I guess day of the draft. Day of the draft, do they then change out the hat and they already lock it in at that point? I don't know how much time in advance before the hat. What's the hat changing time in advance trade deadline is the question, I guess. But yeah, makes sense for their travel line. Again, would have made sense for the Raptors as well, too. We're Malawach fans, chat. You know what we like in the draft? Players that we know can play well, and I think, we're geniuses. We know exactly who we're going to play well. But it's just like, okay, this type of guy makes sense. And to be honest, I know that this is sort of the same argument for Knuppel. It's like, well, you know what his skill set is going to be. But again, there is something to a guy being a defensive, especially an interior defensive player versus a perimeter offensive. I guess, at the end of the day, could they both be 12 to 18 minutes a game on the one end of it, or, 34 minutes a game on the other end of it? Like, yeah, absolutely. It's both the positional sort of question marks for the just in tears chat in the draft day photo. Oh, it's awesome stuff. Shout out to Malawaj chat. It's a you forget about as well too. There was some storylines, especially chat earlier in the year when stuff was changing over in Washington, and it's like, okay, what's gonna happen with this guy's actual ability to play basketball in a NBA and all this stuff, and it's just like, I don't even know his full backstory as well too, but just shout out, just to be that emotional in the moment. There's obviously a lot that's gone into the journey, as there has been for every guy, but it's a special moment for him to get to that, obviously. So Portland at 11, another, this is the fun stretch of like, okay, these teams, this is the definitely like, if anybody hits on this could be the real change, not change the season, but oh, now we have a new playoff team. We have a new fun team in the mix. Drew Holiday is a veteran. I'm starting to talk myself into Portland, chat. I know I was a little bit like, okay, how did Boston get Simons on that? And I still am, but again, that doesn't mean I don't like the idea of Drew Holiday mentoring Scoot Henderson in Portland at the end of the day. And I guess, Simons with the opportunity to succeed. And I guess Simons is Sam's guy, and he gets to be on the Celtics, so it does make sense. But Simons with the opportunity to play well. It's like literally clearing out perfect for Scoot. So it's like, okay, it really should be happy, because it's happy for everybody, except, of course, for Tatum, who unfortunately had to get hurt. But for the rest of the guys, it's, definitely best-ish case scenario as well, too. But, yeah, Malawatch going to Phoenix here, chat. Let's get them seeing what we've got. Because, again, the West is just going to be a difficult conference to compete in this year as well, too. So let's actually, I'm curious to see where Phoenix is at. The one NBA odds we do have on FanDuel at this point is the odds for next season's title. We can't bet on, like, who's going to be the 4th pick in the draft on FanDuel. Maybe we could, but I was on there right before the draft, chat. Make no mistake, I was looking. Like I said, this car's down bad. But, I was looking for something. And it's just nothing, chat. I got to have some parlay. Some possibilities. We have to start going home run parlays at this point just to see what's out there. But I don't know if they have conference. They did. Okay, they've already got Cooper Flag props up, chat. Cooper Flag to score a triple-double in any game, minus 115. They said it's a lock, chat. Okay, never mind. We got a quick stat detour. We're back to Cooper Flag and the number 1 overall pick. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left here on the Blazers pick as the clock winds down. But how many rookies have had a triple-double? I mean, you imagine, of course, Wemby, Doncic, LeBron, Oscar. Like, I imagine maybe 10 or 12 rookies have had a triple-double. But still, probably going to be an elite group of guys. I guess just the idea to make it minus 115, I guess in one game, 82 games here, that's a season finder. Classic mistake, chat. Classic mistake. Let's go game finder here. Real quick. Player. Is there just... Oh, yeah, here we go. Record a triple-double. And then in a game, yes. And we want as a rookie. So year of player's career. First year, triple-double. Any game. And we'll go not just single games, but players with most games in a season. So, this will count for multiple as well, too. So, I'm assuming, like, maybe LeBron had a couple. Luka had a couple. Wilt. It's not going to be NBA history. It wouldn't be minus odds if that was the case. Oh, Chad, is the Wi-Fi struggling tonight? It might be, honestly. It might be. I think it's doing okay. I think we'll just chat. It's just a lot going on. Oscar, 26 triple-doubles as a rookie. Ben Simmons, 12. Whoa! Ben Simmons, the second most triple-doubles as a rookie of all time. So, chat. Whoa, way more than 10. Ayo. We got a list. 77 rookies. Jonathan Mogbo had a triple-double as a rookie. Okay. Austin Reeves had a triple-double as a rookie. Dennis Smith Jr. Markelle Fultz. Markelle Fultz played like 17 games as a rookie. How did Markelle Fultz have a triple-double as a rookie? Hey, yo, chat. Okay, 6 of 13 for the 13, 10, and 10. Yeah, he had a triple-double. Hey, yo, you can't discredit it, chat. They won the game against Philly very decisively, that game. So, yeah, I guess minus 115, chat. Great odds. FanDuel, they know what they're doing. Cooper Flag to score 40 in any game? 3 to 1? 40? That's a lot. I mean, you know, Cooper Flag to score 30 plus in his first regular season game, 20 to 1. Now, see, that's not bad. Cooper Flag to score 50 plus in any game. Okay, here we go. Portland, 11th pick. Oh, chat, the Grizzlies trade. What happened here? Am I behind? Wait a second. Let me catch up. Let me catch up. Is this Bane? What happened? Is there a move that I was unannounced, or I'm just rambling through what the move is right there, or is he talking about the Harden move, or Harden move? Ayo, chat, the Durant move, in Malwich. Cedric Coward at 11 to Portland. Oh, chat. Sam might actually be the one writing the NBA script. Sam might be a script writer in the NBA now. What is happening? He was talking about, you know, Portland is a team of the year for Sam at this point. Portland is can we call them a step team? Is that appropriate, chat? Whoa. They're a step team for Sam at this point. Hey, yo, chat. They're like a, you know, definitely a, you know, side team as well too. I don't know which one's the better way to say it, but they're definitely a team he's invested in for sure. Cedric Coward, like he said, is one of his favorite guys. So he's moving his pieces around to his favorite teams, chat. All of his favorite players are landing in his favorite destinations. It's definitely sneaky. Maybe, you know, maybe that's why the Spurs are, you know, we're over here like, oh, how do the Spurs have such great luck? And Sam's just, you know, he's like, oh, you know, we'll throw Rem some NBA, you know, he'll make sure that write some good stuff into the script for him as well too. Like, hey, if Sam hasn't forgot about us in the NBA script, we're thankful for it, chat. We're thankful for Dylan Harper. Thank you for Dylan Harper and Wembanyama. We really appreciate it, Sam. But anyways, yeah, so Cedric Coward to, well, I guess not to Portland, though, so either way. To Grizzlies? I guess, okay, Sam is not writing the script. It is what it is. Let's see. I guess we can go to the draft cast here and see. What is Sham saying, chat? What is Sham's saying? Whoa, Mark Williams on the move! Charlotte is trading Mark Williams to Phoenix for the 29th pick in the draft. Chat, why are they taking the L on Mark Williams? What happened? And then Cedric Coward, they're trading Cedric Coward at number 11 to Memphis. I guess Shams Woj would have given us the details immediately. Hey, yo. So Memphis immediately gets their, I guess you would assume maybe they're giving up a pick that they got in the Bane deal. But Coward for Bane is a little interesting, chat. And like I said, kind of like that kind of KCP can give you some minutes right away. Jalen Wells is going to be the real elevator in that. And then Cole Anthony off the bench is not bad. Memphis is going to be a sneaky team next year. Memphis is still going to be a feisty team to play. Cedric Coward can get in that lineup and compete for him, chat. That is a nice pick. He would have been a nice pick for either of those teams. Both those teams have some depth at the wing position and the ability to kind of have some versatility there. But, yeah, that's fun for sure. Him and Ja, athleticism, the defense. And really, now you can see him committing more to defense as well, too. You know, Jaren Jackson, obviously. Zach Edey, you know, defensively, it's a different type of impact. But still, it's, you know, he has the potential to be a really good defender for sure. And there's even some movement stuff with him in the perimeter that's you're like, oh, you know, he's keeping up a little bit as well, too. But you think Wells a better defender for sure than Desmond Bane? I mean, you would assume that Cedric Coward. The CC chain, the initials on the chain, chat, pretty cool. I'm rocking with it for sure. Definitely a pretty low-key rest of the outfit, letting the chain shine. And just, you know, classy suit, shirt combo. Can't be mad about that. Really lets the hat pop as well, too. The hat and the chain can kind of be the main points of it. Highest player, tied for the highest player drafted from Washington State. Oh, I didn't even think about that. So he joins Klay Thompson in NBA history. I mean, that's not nothing, chat. Those are those little things that, you know, they don't always end up perfect. But, you know, Klay is, you know, from the drafting standpoint, is there a better player in NBA, Washington State history than Klay? You know, if there is one, it would be an obvious legendary player that I just was like, oh yeah, I guess I didn't realize that he went to Washington State. But modern time, you know, who's the only other NBA Washington State player I can think of is Malachi Flynn, chat. 23 guys. CJ Ellaby? Oh, Muhammad Gaye for sure, if I'm saying that last name right. Isaac Jones. Oh, Jalen Wells went to Washington State. I think he transferred, chat. Did he go to Washington State? I don't think he got drafted from Washington State. Oh, I guess he did, chat. Hey, yo. I guess I didn't realize. I thought he was like Cal or something like that. I mean, I guess Jaylen Brown from Cal. But, yeah, Washington State. Ayo. So was he second rounder, though? He was a second round, 39th pick. I was going to say, I wasn't necessarily too locked in on his pre-draft status. So, I guess does he have a chance to compete for Clay? It's a long ways to go for Jalen Wells to get to Clay. All-time stats. Craig Elo from Washington State. So I guess all-time points, chat. Washington State. Clay, 69. James Donaldson with 8K. So Clay has as many points as the next 2 guys combined. Maybe the next 3, honestly. Aaron Baines at number 3. And, Malachi Flynn is in the top 7 of all time for Washington State scores. So, again, it doesn't always add up perfectly that, like, your best player in school history was your highest draft pick of all time as well, too. And, again, it's like Clay, well, I guess, again, now we're really digging deep into the Washington State legacy. Is Clay the best player to, like, actively be playing at Washington State as well, too? I guess that's the last piece of it. But I'm assuming he would have the Washington State records and a bunch of that stuff. Unless, like, Malachi Flynn. Or, Jalen Wells only there for 1 year. But unless some 4-year guy, went in there and broke some of those records. The pick is in for Chicago, Chad. Who's going to join Matas on this team? But Cedric Coward, of course, now ties Clay for that. And I guess maybe I'm glad now that Cedric Coward, shout out for the money and all that stuff. I don't respectfully here, but for the Clay legacy standpoint, if we can look at it through that lens, then the fact that he only tied Clay and didn't quite break Clay's record, still, you can prove yourself in the NBA. We're not doubting you. But, yeah, let Clay have the legacy stuff. The body's not even cold yet, Chad. The man hasn't even retired from the NBA. And already people are like, Washington State has a higher draft pick than Klay Thompson. Hey, yo, let Klay Thompson be the legacy guy. But in terms of the rest of NBA history, I mean, if who's the guy that just got drafted? If Coward scores like 5,000 points, he's a top 4 player in Washington State history. Like, literally. I mean, again, Flynn and Jalen Wells are still actively playing, so Jalen Wells will be a top 5 player in Washington State history, you assume. If Aaron Baines is the 4th best player, Don Collins, I guess, as well, too. Gus Williams, 68 points, Chad. Robert Franks, 43. Isaac Fontaine, 11 points. Shout out. 3 for 14 from the field. Hey, yo, better than most of us, Chad, honestly. But Cowherd makes a lot of sense there. Okay, wait, are we just going to draft? Or going to commercial during the NBA draft, Chad? Hey, yo, I think actually now that we've been to commercial a couple times. We've just been so locked in that it's like, what's happening here? Should we go to break ourselves, or do we wait for the Spurs pick to be in? I guess the Spurs are 2 picks away. So let's take a quick break, chat, and then we'll be back. The draft is cooking along. We're still here, chat. First round. Don't go anywhere. We're not going anywhere either. We'll be right back. Okay, Chad, we got a lot to catch up on here. The draft is cooking along. We missed the Bulls pick, so hopefully that doesn't end up being like Jokic getting drafted during a Taco Bell commercial. But I think it's perfect that Noah Isenyu was the guy that got picked during our break because he's on break during his team right now. He's playing in. He's an international prospect, I believe, maybe from France, but currently playing in Germany. I don't know how that's working out, Chad, because according to Doris Burke, the French and German don't like each other. But either way, he is making it work for himself. But his team is currently playing in the championship game for whatever league he's in, and he's like, nope, I'm good. I'm gonna go be at the NBA draft. So very controversial right now amongst the NBA community. I mean, as you would expect, not a lot of people taking his side. I think most people are like, hey, you should probably be playing in the championship game with your team. But I gotta say, Chad, it is one of those timing things. Like, literally a couple of hours before I heard that story and was like on the Hoops hype and saw that one, and then I was like listening to Brasillo's pod and people started talking about it as well too. Literally a couple of hours before I started hearing all that stuff, I saw this clip of this guy quitting his job and going to work for, I think it was DDG, Chad, shout out, but it was one of those streamers. And some guy like came up to him and was like, hey, I saw you need a cameraman. He's like, I'll quit my job right now to be your cameraman. He's like, will you actually do it? And the kid, like, it was at some sort of like convention-y type thing, and he like looks down the setup to wherever his boss was at, and he's like, hey, I quit. And then he's like, okay, I'll be your cameraman. And he just goes to work for him right there. And it's like, hey, that's kind of what Noah Isenyu just did to his team in Germany. He's like, hey, you know what? Better opportunity in the NBA. I just looked down the hall and said, I quit. And you know what? The NBA is like the only job where we would actually say that that's a bad thing to do. I mean, in any other profession, it's like, if it's a better opportunity, we see that all the time. People just leaving their jobs and just going to the better opportunity right away. So, I mean, it's a little weird. Again, the draft it's not like, okay, he's leaving his game to play in a game. I get the line. I get it, Chad. I'm not necessarily saying it's the smartest move to make, but I'm just saying, you know, he looked down the hall at his German team and he said, I quit. You got to respect the move, Chad. You got to respect the confidence or whatever. Bulls fans, I guess, don't respect it because there was definitely a murmur when he got picked. Hey, yo, Chad. Hey, yo. But Chandler Hutchinson 2.0, I don't know. I think maybe a little more athletic. But, you know, his defense next to Matas's playmaking, Vooch, Kobe White, there's definitely a role for him. I don't know, the Pat Williams replacement. Pat Williams still there for a couple years under contract, I think. But, again, I'm not necessarily, I wouldn't, you know, you start judging like he's the second youngest, they said he's 3 days older than Cooper Flagg, chat. Like, you know, and the fact that Cooper Flagg's the youngest player in the draft, so like we said, he reclassified, but I guess I didn't necessarily put that together as like he's the youngest player in the draft, is, you know, again, timeline stuff is crazy there, chat. But, I guess we'll get to this trade in a second. Atlanta trading the 13th pick. But, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily start writing off a guy's entire NBA career because he gave up on, you know, quit his German team to be at the NBA draft. Like, you know, okay, you know, what events, if we were ranking events that you were willing to quit your team for, like, guess what? I think quitting the NBA, like, if he quit the German championship game over a regular season game, is this a hot take, chat? I would rather him quit it over the draft than a regular season game. I would go, if I was my rankings, obviously finals game, if they could just be like, we could sign you for a finals game, you can quit your German league and then go play for us in a finals game. Like, you have to do that, of course. That makes sense. You're playing in the NBA immediately and you're in the finals. You win a title right away. So obviously you're doing that. Okay, I guess we'll just skip ahead a little bit. Atlanta at 13 is picking now, but they've traded this to New Orleans. And it's Derek Queen, chat. Shams did his first Woj bomb. Hey, shout out to Shams. You know, he's his own man, but just for the lineage of Woj, respectfully, paying lineage to the great ones that paved the way. He dropped his first Woj bomb where he's like, yeah, they're trading the pick, and it's a little bit interested in, Derek Queen they might have their eyes on Derek Queen at this spot. That's what they get. Again, New Orleans, and that's interesting, chat. That is interesting because they already have Missy at the center spot. So it's like, okay, Missy and Queen could play together, sure. But, chat, must we? I don't know what the right way they're saying is, but must we forget that Zion Williamson is also a front court player currently on the Pelicans. So maybe you're just like, well, we don't even have to trade Zion. We don't have to worry about it. He's not playing either way. The man's never out there. You know, whatever it is. Whatever you want Stephen A to start saying hot takes about Zion. Like, you just go, okay, Derek Queen is Zion insurance. But you think, are they thinking Derek Queen and Missy is the front court long term? Maybe Derek Queen's just a 6-man or something. I don't know what the thought process is there. But you think that the idea of him and him next to, like we were saying, sort of, what were we saying there, chat? Malawach or something? Were we saying 2 centers with him somewhere else? I forget. But you think if he sort of has or maybe was it Sar and Malawach together? I forget. But if he brings a little bit of a perimeter game at the center spot, Missy can lock down some of the defensive stuff. Maybe you think, the Pelicans are trying to recreate the Davis-DeMarcus Cousins combo, chat. Hey, yo, Derek Queen and Yves Missy? I think they're getting there. It's definitely some percentage of that combo. I don't know what percentage. But, also it's not the number 1. And, DeMarcus Cousins was like a number 2 or 3 pick in the draft as well, too. And probably would have been would he actually have been the number 1 pick over John Wall? But probably if DeMarcus Cousins had been a little bit, the prospect stuff been a little bit more different there, he probably would have been the number 1 pick in that draft. But John Wall obviously was the right pick still at the end of the day with the NBA career that he had. I think still even in a redraft situation with that draft. I forget, was that like the Paul George draft or something? But John Wall is still obviously a great player. But yeah, that is really interesting for the Zion long-term stuff. I think that might be the first move where you're like, is there something with Zion there? Because to be honest, again, they've committed to him. And I think, am I crazy, Chad? Is this the first season without Dave Griffin? The first off season without Dave Griffin? Let's remember what's going on. R.I.P. Dave Griffin's Pelicans tenure. Did he last all the way up until this off season, chat? Hey, yo, Dave Griffin, the official website. Hey, yo, Dave Griffin from Family Guy. Okay, chat. Dave Griffin, Pelicans, NBA. David Griffin. I think maybe David Griffin is the way to go here. Yeah, David Griffin. Shout out. What was the official days on the Pelicans tenure here, chat? Let's remember. Oh. Internet load. Here we go. Wikipedia. Get the servers firing. What's going on? Yeah, Pelicans, chat. It was as executive champion 2016. Career information. Let's see here. Pelicans. April 14th, 2025. So yeah, this is their first offseason without Zion or without Dave Griffin, the guy that I think maybe is like, okay, do we want to keep giving Zion a chance? When was he hired by the Pelicans? April 17th of 2019 was named that's right, because it was like they get David Griffin, then just immediately David Griffin's back, another number 1 overall pick. I mean, so the script writers we know are David Griffin and Sam are writing the NBA script, because I mean David Griffin gets number 1 overall picks and Sam's guys goes to Sam's favorite teams apparently right now. But San Antonio with their second pick of the night, pick 14, Danny Wolf. Will he be joining Dylan Harper? Who is it, chat? Malik is off the board. Oh, Carter Bryant from Alabama, chat. I don't know. Check the tapes on what we were saying. I don't know if it sounded like we wanted him on the Spurs when we were watching his highlights, but he is. I mean, definitely the boxes are there, chat, for sure. Are they checked? It is what it is. But the athleticism was there. The max vertical leap, anyways. I mean, the standing vertical leap, I guess, could be a little bit better. But the physical, traits, the 3-point shooting. And you think as well, too, a lot of the teams, again, like how many, I guess a lot of teams do have 2 picks in this first round draft. But, maybe typically a team with 1 pick and it's like we got to center our whole draft around a type of player where it's like, okay, are we getting sort of and, the baseline as well, too, is really good. But against San Antonio, this is perfect. We're starting to get into a spot where is the 14th pick a guy that's going to contribute this year? Maybe, for sure, if obviously he's really good, but we get a couple of free agents, a couple of veterans. Maybe we make a trade as well, too. Maybe the 14th pick's a trade piece. Carter Bryant, hey, yo. But, do we take a swing there where it's like another Blake Wesley type where we want to see what the upside is? Oh, chat. He's dapping up Iggy. I don't know what the Carter Bryant-Iggy relationship is, Andre Iguodala, but I'm all in now. I don't know if he's working out in the offseason with Andre Iguodala. I don't know if the three-point percentage is going to go up, but there'll be a commitment to defense. Iguodala's a Finals MVP, so I mean a great legendary player to work with. Maybe Chet, he starts popping up in certain circles that it's like, okay, all of a sudden Sam's gonna be like, hey, there's Carter Bryant, but hey, yeah, whoa, so Carter Bryant joining the Spurs is a fun move, chat. I'm all in now. All of a sudden, it took me about 35 seconds. Hey, yo, whoa, pause to be bought in on the Carter Bryant pick. And again, I'm not telling you be disrespectful. His importance to the Spurs in a lineup where his skill, I guess the point is his skills will be able to be highlighted because he'll be able to focus on those couple of things: the three-point shooting, the defense. You imagine the Spurs will be able to get the energy and the effort that they need out of him as well too. The Thunder somehow, again, the 15th pick in the draft, they just get to add basically a lottery pick. The team, they just won the title. They had a whopping 700,000 people show up to the championship parade. Hey, yo, just fly Billy Buckets out next year. I mean, you've got 700,000 fans. What are you doing? Bring some people in. Like, get this man in VIP and get this man on the float. Like, you need it for the Instagram post, honestly. You need as many people as possible. The only drone footage you want to see right now, Chad, is the drone footage of the Thunder Parade, just so we can make fun of them. Because they're panning down the street right now. It's like, okay, there's one person, there's a couple, there's a family, there's another family, oh, there's a larger family, and then there's kind of everybody in the main street area, and then there's, more families down here. But in terms of a team, Chad, maybe the next championship parade will be a lot better. Ooh, Sorber on the Thunder would be nice. I mean, Jace Richardson, a Lou Dort replacement? I don't know if Jace Richardson can get to that level of defense, but I don't know if there was a undersized guard who could guard 3 to 4 positions. I guess Jace Richardson can guard 4 positions. That might be a little much to ask. Kasparis in this spot. They've got a lot of Topic stock. Hey, yo, chat. Mannix on Simmons' pause like Topic. He wants to be on Topic Island, chat. Whoa. I don't know if I want to be a castaway on Topic Island, but if Topic Island is, that'll be one of those. I'm not gonna be a pioneer on Topic Island. It's gonna need to be well established in the tour. It's gonna need to be a tourist destination, and then once there's good, water parks. Hey, yo, chat, get a couple of gift shops and some water parks on Topic Island. You're like, I'm there, but I'm not gonna go castaway on Topic Island. Obviously there's some islands, chat, that we'll be castaway on for sure. Maxwell Lewis Island. Hey, yo, chat, you want to talk about some desolate? You want to talk about islands where real estate is cheap? You're underrating Maxwell Lewis Island. I mean, there's some good beachside property views on Maxwell Island for sure. So, and I mean, make no mistake, you can get a lot of land on Maxwell Lewis Island right now. Not in demand that much, but Topic is not one of those islands. I mean, with all respect to Topic, I'm just saying, how many islands can you have in your portfolio at this point? So if we can only have so many islands, we just don't have room for the Topic Island AO. It is what it is. But either way, they 15th overall pick. They I guess don't even need Topic at this point. But that type of point guardy player, I guess, Igor Denham is off the board. So, oh wait, here's the details. I guess are Shams. 15 minutes in, we're just rambling. But the number. Oh, and I guess he did say that on the broadcast as well. Nobody, everybody, who knows, chat. In the NBA, everybody's using protection, chat. You got to. There's no way for trading, especially, trading up for 13. I mean, Queen definitely could have been a guy that, if you're really buying in on the upside, which I'm not saying I'm not. I'm just saying if you are, that then you could have maybe even argued him higher than, than in the top 10. But trading up for an unprotected first to trade up for 13, moving up 10 spots is a pretty good trade. But moving up to the top of the lottery, I don't know if you need to give up that much as well, too. That's 1/4 of the Desmond Bane trade, chat. Hey, yo, is Derek Queen 1/4 of Desmond Bane? I guess, if you put it that way, hopefully he can get to, let's 1/4 of Desmond Bane, chat. As a player. I don't know what those stats look like. So, or is it a swap? This is unprotected in 2026. Most favorable of New Orleans and Milwaukee. Whoa, chat! So again, I don't know if New Orleans is going to build a contender by 2026, but is Giannis going to be there in 2026? I mean, he'll be there, and I guess that's only one season from now, but he'll definitely be there this next year. But the year after that is going to be every year now. It's on a timeline. I think this year really Bucks fans got bailed out with how the Eastern Conference fell in their favor for the playoffs. Somehow the Bucks being eliminated in the first round was actually the best thing to happen for him in the Eastern Conference. I don't know how that worked out, chat. I don't know how it worked out that an early elimination actually favored it. But now you look at him going, okay, they're the one. Giannis is definitely the healthiest guy, best player left in the East. And the degree to which he's the best player left in the East is now kind of, not necessarily staggering, because you still got some guys, obviously the Knicks are still powerful. Orlando just added a player. They're going to be a better team. There's just definitely, again, Simons, yeah, well, you got to look out for Simons in the East now as well. But, just Milwaukee, all of a sudden, it's like they're maybe the best team in the East again. So Giannis is like, there's not a better chance. Honestly, he's not going to find a better path to the finals. As much as it might be weird to say, there might not be a better... Again, in June as well, too, like, Giannis is always going to have trade value. So if Giannis does demand the trade, then the teams will make it work. But they really got lucky for that. But again, that pick, if that's a Milwaukee pick, that's going to be interesting. Oh, chat, they got it on the ESPN, but I missed the pick. So we'll see what they got here. Oklahoma City. It is Sorber! Oh, chat! I got Sorber stock. I definitely have more Sorber stock now that he's going to the reigning champions playing with Shea and Jalen Williams, but that's perfect. Doesn't Hartenstein have I guess back to the Spo track, chat. It better load this time. Hey, yo, hopefully it's working now that we've given it a break. I don't think so, chat. Spo track might be down for the count. It is. Oh, chat. Spo track is down. R.I.P. Spo track for the night. Real GM. It is what it is. I think it'll get the job done. But Oklahoma City, I think Hardenstein, well, not the Knicks, chat. Where's Oklahoma City? Oh, there we go. Orange and blue, wrong team. But where are we going here, chat? Yeah, I think the contract we were saying is a team option. So are they going to cut him this year for Sorber? They don't have to do that. Again, Sorber, rookie contract, 15th pick in the draft is not that crazy. And still, you don't have to necessarily invest in your stars the same way. Even if you're starting to lock him in for some extensions and stuff, like Jalen Williams might be, extended into his restricted free agency this year or something. Like, it's not going to be still crazy, super expensive this upcoming season. So he gives you long-term flexibility. And Hartenstein is a good guy for him to, I think, the mentor stuff is maybe a little too loosey-goosey sometimes, but Hartenstein is a good, quote-unquote, mentor for a guy like Sorber. Hartenstein's a great, honestly, even again, it's just, Hartenstein's a great defender. And if you have a guy with that kind of defensive IQ to show Sorber along, who has defensive upside himself, that's perfect. So does Sorber need to learn from Tim Duncan to be Tim Duncan? I don't necessarily know that, Chad. He needs to learn from a guy that can show him, hey, here's what you're reading. Here's the spots to be. Here's what you're looking for in the rotational stuff. Here on offense is, different tips and tricks for playing with this type of player and rolling. And again, how willing is Hardenstein to be like, okay, I got the team option here. I'm just going to be training up my replacement. Again, it's kind of the NFL quarterback thing as well, too. Yeah, team option. So I guess he would be unrestricted in 2027 anyway. So I think he's pretty safe this year. Again, just winning the title. I think his value definitely showed in that Pacers series at times. It wasn't like he was the most valuable player for him, but it came around for him being a impact player in that series by the end of it a little bit for sure. So yeah, and then you think again he hits unrestricted free agency in 2027. You don't necessarily feel pressured to bring him back. Now you're clearing for Chet and stuff like that, and all the future picks as well too. I love that move for him, Chat. I honestly, again, I was like, okay, Sorber might be the fit for in there. Is OKC gonna, what teams are willing to go off the board? I guess. Wait, is Kasparov the pick? Oh no, I guess Kasparov's best available. Best fit is Joan Buringer, Chat, from France. Hey, yo. He's definitely climbed up draft boards as well, too. Because then Kasparov's is sort of a little Topichy redundant with the playmaking. Do they need the three-point shooting to continue to develop? And then some of the defensive stuff is in question as well, too. He's redundant in all those aspects for sure. Queen, I don't know if he has the defensive upside. I don't know if you need Queen's offensive upside. Again, you got Chet and Jalen Williams and Shea. If Queen is a great offensive player, then that's awesome. But you really need more the presence and the rebounding, the toughness as well, too, and then the IQ from some of this up. You know, McNeely, again, Jace Richardson, some of the wing stuff, you know, you're never going to go wrong there with the wing player. Clifford as well, too, from Colorado State. But I like that pick, Chad. And again, I guess Renaud from Stanford would be the next true center on the board in that way. Again, Danny Wolf as well, too. What do we got for Newell, Chad? 6'9"? Okay, Newell could be a little small ball 5. Newell's side mobility, aggressiveness, intensity levels are considerable assets that enable him to have a highly productive and efficient freshman season campaign. He aided Georgia in reaching the NCAA tournament. His weaknesses, although he excelled in using his mobility and scoring the rim, he's limited length for a center, 6'11" wingspan. His perimeter shooting and feel for the game still need development on both ends to be a full-time power forward. Get a little more perimeter-oriented there as well. But yeah, I guess he could give you sort of a little undersized center type move. So, do we have another trade, chat? I'm not even gonna keep. It's like it's gonna be impossible to keep up, especially with all the trades that were the picks that were already traded. But I think, again, it's gonna be established. The picks that are already traded will be laid out on the draft board. So any proposed trades will be the draft night trades taking place. But we've got Portland trading up to 16, or was this? Oh no, this was earlier when Memphis traded up for their player. Who did we get Memphis trading up for earlier? Hey, yo, we're already forgetting the draft, chat as it's unfolding here. Oh man, we don't even know the right place to look. As well too. Apparently it was Cedric Coward. That's right, our guy Cedric Coward. Hey yo, how could we forget about that, chat? So they traded up for Cedric Coward. Portland, I guess now is this, and this is the, I guess, just the one of the trades from the Orlando trade was the trade to get them into the first round picks. It's not like they had this trade and then used the trade as well. But yeah, so from Orlando to Memphis to now to Portland will be this pick. So some of the wings are still fun. You know, Sorber, I guess, would have been fun there, but they still have Ayton and stuff. So, you know, is Ayton a mentor for Sorber? I kind of like Hartenstein bringing Sorber along more so than Ayton. And again, if Hartenstein's playing well and all this stuff looks good, like, he's still going to be playing for a contract anyways. He probably knows it's not going to be an OKC in 2027 anyways. Like, that deal in OKC was to be there for those couple of years at that time, get a title, help that team. If he wants to be there for the decade, multiple year run, like, he knows probably what the steps are after that and taking a team-friendly deal. And again, he got the title as well, too, so he can continue to chase the money and not to, you know, he can continue to want to get paid at his highest level like he should going forward in his NBA career if that's the priority as well, too. And if there's priority to stay in OKC, then again, I'm sure that both teams can make that happen as well, too. Wait, somehow is Danny Wolf not in the Jay Billis? Where does Jay Billis have Danny Wolf ranked in his best available, chat? I didn't see the full top 10 scan through there, so it was the latter half of the top 10. Maybe, you know, he's one of the higher ranked players left at this point. Danny Wolf in Portland. Where does Danny Wolf go next? I guess Washington with 18 multiple first-round picks. Do they go with him and Sarr? You know, get some of the offense next to Sarr's defense. Go the other way instead of Malawach. Minnesota at 17. Danny Wolf as the Julius Randle replacement is a possibility as well, too. Kasparis, okay, I guess I missed 1 and 2, but Kasparis is, okay, he's not 3 or 4, 5 or 6. So I guess, yeah, Danny Wolf, chat. Hey, yo, Jay Billis. Put some respect on our guy Danny Wolf's name. Joan, you got Joan Berringer? Nolan Toure, I guess McNeely. I'm kind of buying up some McNeely stock as well, too. I got to watch a few more McNeely highlights before I buy a ton of McNeely stock, but I kind of like McNeely at his spot or Knuppel at his spot. I think that's a fun bet, chat. If we could get Polymarket on the career odds, I think that is a fun potential situation to see what could happen. And again, you know McNeely's going to go to a good team. Oh, chat, Yang Henson for 16, a center for, I guess this is going to Portland again, not Memphis with this pick. If you're reading the ESPN screen, if you're watching along with the draft, they're probably explaining as well too. But this will be in Portland as well. So yeah, like we were saying, Sorber would have been fun there. They needed a center. They don't go with the guy Renaud, who was on the ESPN board here. Maybe this is a little bit of a stash. And again, you got Edey as well. So Edey and Jaren Jackson, another center. How do all these guys play together? But, you know, bigs and front court help. Like I said, they just got guards and wings. So you continue to just go that way, get the assets. Maybe Edey becomes a trade piece. Maybe Yang Henson's a trade piece. I'm getting it mixed up as well, too. Hey, yo, Portland with Ayton and stuff. Like we said, oh yeah, Portland. I guess Klingon, he plays next to Klingon? Hey, yo, chat. Play anybody next. Klingon can play next to anybody. You can play 2 centers next to Klingon. Oh, is Ayton in trouble important? I think Ayton's, future is a little bit more immediate. Anyways, and again, I guess if you're Portland, maybe he is a little bit stashy in a way. Portland's definitely got some guys, for sure. They're going to want to try to develop and bring along and see what they've got. And I don't know if he's got some offensive skill set. I could see him having a little handle, chat, for sure. Largest hands at the combine. Oh, hey, chat, shout out our guy, Yang Henson. Respect. First team all CBA, chat. Okay. I don't know where he is. If he's like a, if we're looking 19, are we looking 24 here? Senior, freshman type. But 16-10, 16-10 in the China League last year, chat. I don't know what the number equivalent is. Sometimes the in the Europe League, sometimes the numbers can be a little bit more lower than in the NBA, where again it's like, okay, is this European prospect putting up like 6 points a game? Why is he going to be the 7th pick in the draft? You're like, okay, it translates, and the per minutes and all the different stuff. So I don't know, again, on a per minute basis, what the scoring is in that league, but those are still just good numbers anyways. 16-10. We should have probably maybe even watched, 11-6-6 at the combine, chat. I guess if we had been watching some of those scrimmage games at the combine, we would have seen our guy Yang balling out. Rim protection, feel for the game. So they're really just saying, hey, our interior defense with Klingon and Yang is gonna be unstoppable in the West. Jokic is not gonna get past anybody, chat. Everybody's still copying the Timberwolves model. You got to have 2 centers. You got to have the Gobert and Towns. That's another reason why it's like, why are you trading Towns? These teams are trying to now replicate. It's like, you just showed us the blueprint for taking down Jokic. You're changing your own blueprint. Connolly. What's going on? But I guess, we'll see if the contract stuff pays off for that later when they try to build this team around Anthony Edwards, chat. I guess the Gobert thing, of course, is the piece that is going to be the contract hanging over them a little bit while they get this figured out. But still, it's like, okay, they had the roster pieces in place as well. So this is the 11th pick for 20, or the 11th pick for 16, and then a 2028, chat. Okay. So Minnesota now on the clock. They have Dillingham. You can't forget about Dillingham, chat. Leonard Miller as well too. So they do got a front court player that they may be able to, like, okay, can we get some minutes from a younger guy there? Can we get some minutes from a backcourt guy in Dillingham? So maybe do they go Kasparis here, chat? Kasparis would actually be interesting on this team. Again, the 3-point shooting is a little concerning, and Minnesota does, of course, continue to need spacing. Their 3-point shooting is already questionable, but you get Gobert out there at times. Just, the lineups that they do throughout there, it's like we need to just continue to bring in, of course, the spacing and the 3-point shooting around Edwards as well, too, to give him the room to be able to navigate into the lane. But with Conley getting older, and if, whatever happens with Randall in the future, like, they could use some point guard help there, for sure. They could use a actual get the stuff set up, have a playmaker for everything. Make sure everything make sure that Anthony Edwards doesn't have to do too much of the playmaking and focus on the scoring and be like the full 2-guardy type stuff. That could be a fun fit. Walter Clayton Jr. I think they do like some of the wings and the 2-way stuff around Edwards as well too. But Clayton is interesting as well. Okay. Oh, it's Berringer, chat. They're also, the centers are flying off the board, so they're gonna go with the Towns replacement. Hey, Connolly, backing up on his move here. What do we got? Joan, chat. We don't want to be disrespectful. Joan Berringer from France. Okay, strong suit game from Berringer. Hey, chat. The suit game is all it takes sometimes for you to be able to buy in. So Casper is still on the board. Let's see what we got. We can't get a scouting report on Berringer, the ringer. Did somebody write up a report on our guy Joanne, chat? Let's see. Oh, here we go. 15th overall prospect. Instinctive, physically gifted. Who's raw as sashimi. Whoa! Wow! Hey, I don't even know if we can go in timeout after that one, chat. That's That's crazy. But he's the most player who's probably the most uncomplicated player in a first round. But simple is also effective. Okay. The Frenchman, whoa, will be among the youngest players in the draft. And if that weren't enough, he's a recent convert to the game. You'll be hard-pressed to find footage of him taking a jump shot from any distance, and there's few instances of him wheeling and dealing from any position as a passer. At this point, his rim running, screening, and lurking in the short corner when other players are unfolding. Oh, at this point, he's a rim running screener and a lurker in the short corner when other plays are unfolding, but he rarely deviates from those actions because he does them well. Oh, okay. Despite his lankiness, Berger looks comfortable in rough and tumble situations, inspiring visions of what he might look like once he fills out and is able to dish out physicality around the rim. Whoa. Sure, he has his moments when mature players knock him off his spot, and he causes his limbs to collapse as if he's a wrecking ball just hitting a tower of popsicle sticks. Whoa. But these types of players are frequently have their revenge when the dust settles. Last season we saw Missy, the number 21 selection, grow in a similar way. Hey, yo. The combination of mobility and in open space and legitimate rim protection at this size will always be alluring. Beringer is already shuttling with full-grown ball handlers and blocking their shots at the high point with either hand. He's a longer-term project, but well worth the undertaking. Okay, shout out. Wait, who wrote that up, chat? Ringer? J. Kyle, man. Oh, true professional, chat. For sure. Clean up some of the language in here, chat. Hey, yo, what did he say earlier? I guess, what was, there was another one up there that was crazy. Or no, was that this one here? That was, yeah. Oh, it's not a smart move to pitch him as a player. Chat, that's a funny little sentence. Maybe that would have been the 2 years. Maybe that would have been the 2 years, chat. At that point. So is Joan Beringer the next guy that's 2 years away from being 2 years away? I guess only Caboclo will be the true guy that's 2 years away from being 2 years away. But still, I guess somebody will just have to drop it again at some point, chat. Get Fertella back on the draft as well, too. For old time's sake. We already got Billis on the draft as well. But, yeah, wait, where did he even end up going, chat? We were not even keeping track. Oh, that's right. Minnesota. So, the Gobert replacement long-term? Hey, yo. And then, I guess, going a little bit more stashy there, chat. They could have gone a wing again and maybe gotten a little bit more instant impact. Instant impact. Impact? Is that a thing? I don't know. I don't think that's quite a phrase, chat. It's almost a phrase, but I don't think it's quite a phrase. We need to workshop it just a little bit. But Wizards are going to use up their whole play clock here with this 18th pick. I guess they were really looking to trade this one. Liam McNeely? They don't want Corey Kispert as well. I get the, Kasparis. He just took a guard as well, too, with Trey Johnson. Again, like we said, Bub Carrington as well, too. You got a couple of guys that are going to be in handling situations. But McNeely, you always need three-point shooters, for sure. I don't know. I guess, they have him listed as a best fit. Richardson, Clifford, Newell, Chad. So everybody kind of, everybody wants a wing, but everybody's already got wings that they want, so... nobody wants the wings in this draft, apparently. Everybody wants a center. So the centers are flying off the board. I don't know even best available who we have left at the center position. Besides our guy, poor Renaud over here. Now he's moving up to top 10. Our guy, Danny Wolf, as well, too. Noah Penda, forward from France. Okay, 6'7". 6'6", I guess. I don't think Thoreau. Oh, Kalkbrenner? Kalkbrenner might go in the first round, honestly. He's got some perimeter game with what we're seeing here. And then Penn State, Yannick Cohen Niederhauser. Hey, yo, Chad. I don't know if we said that right, but that's crazy. Again, the playmakers and the scorer guard stuff, how many elite ones are there? But it just seems like the ability to get minutes, get production, find a guy in that spot is still definitely doable. And again, everybody's just been investing in a ton of wings over the last couple of years that it's like, okay, let's pump the brakes. We have the spots. Let's see what we have. We need centers. We need guys to continue to fill out the rest of the roster. And again, with Jokic, OKC, with those teams kind of winning, like they have malleability. I guess, Jokic is just a good enough player. He can play in any type of lineup. But OKC has malleability to play with the bigger lineups and the smaller lineups. They have the ability to guard a guy like Jokic or go small as well too. So you just need these, you can't forget to have the multiple looks and the different options as well too. So Washington with their second pick of the night, chat, 18 here, and they do also have 40, I guess, a little bit later in the draft for tomorrow night. Jace Richardson, chat. I guess again they got so maybe Newell here. Kasper's Fleming. They've got Rasheer Fleming from St. Joseph, a wing, in the top 5. Or Clayton. Johnny Davis with 3-point shooting, chat. Oh, breaking news. Shams. We got a trade. Okay, I heard the Jazz, but okay, this pick is being traded to the Jazz, right? I guess we better go to the Twitter here. What's Shams saying on the Twitter? Oh, he's hitting the ESPN airwaves before he's hitting the old Twitter feed, chat. Apparently, the ESPN Draftcast not updating. Let's hit a refresh here and see what we've got. So yeah, proposed trade to Utah. Still nothing. Shams, send out a tweet. Whoa, would have had 4 tweets out by now. What's going on? Shams, we're going to have to go to his Blue Sky and see if we can figure out what's up. I don't know. Is there any other insiders that we can go to? Whoa. What's happening here? What's the trade? What happens if you have earbuds in and you're talking over it and you can't hear what's going on and I need to read it? What about then, chat? Walter Clayton on the board. Wait a second. Is this for Walter Clayton? Utah trading up for Walter Clayton, picking in the top 20. Oh, chat. I don't know if Polymarket odds are adjusting in live time or if we can get a graph on what Walter Clayton's odds would have been. Maybe they didn't have top 20 on here. Will Walter Clayton go in the first round? 91% chance, yes. So that wasn't necessarily too much of a risk. Top 10 here. If we maybe like double the odds, if he's like 6% to go in the top 10, then is he 12% to go in the top? Oh, he was 23% to go in the top 10. So he's 46% to go in the top 20. A 50-50 chance to go in the top 20? I don't know. That doesn't seem too far off, chat, for as good as he played in the tournament. And again, that skill of him as a 3-point shooter, as a clutch 3-point shooter, once you get into this range, it feels like the translatability of that is very reliable as well. So it seems like that would make a lot of sense. Utah with Ace Bailey and Walter Clayton. The upside, the high school pedigree, the what-if prospect versus the, did it in the tournament, Final Four most outstanding, college superstar, 3-point shooting, lock it in. Like, you kind of get best of both worlds there in the draft if you're Utah. So, and, it doesn't necessarily take away from, like, Keontae George is going to, again, want to take shots. Like, Walter Clayton can play off of Keontae George a little bit. And Collier as well, too. They're a little bit, susceptible there as well. But you've got the wings, like we were saying, if the defense is there with Hendricks and Williams and Ace Bailey. Because, again, Ace Bailey can be a good, he's got the tools to be a good defender. Make no mistake. If Ace Bailey's not playing good defense, it's not because he, unfortunately for him, unfortunately, it's not because he can't. It's like he's blessed with the ability to be able to play good defense if he wants to. But let's see if the pick is official. Oh, he's gonna announce the pick. He's Adam Silver, of course, multiple picks behind. But Will Riley on the board still. Jace Richardson, Lee McNeely. Asenyu did get picked by the Bulls as well too. Newell would be, I guess, another guy in the mix for the top. So these guys would have been in the mix for the top 10. And Rasheer Fleming, I guess, with a 2% chance to go in the top 10. And there it is, official, chat. Walter Clayton getting the call live on TV. The emotions are high in tonight's draft, chat. You'll love to see it. 2025, the therapy era. I don't know if it's just what we're in, chat. The ability for people to be able to have a sensitive moment in the NBA draft has now been fully, allowed for that as well too. But it does feel like amount of guys crying tonight. We're definitely up near the over. I don't know if we had an over. We didn't have odds, chat, but did Polymarket have a bet for that maybe that we could have taken? So this is fun. I mean, we love Walter Clayton as a prospect. The 3-point shooting, he's gonna be a good NBA player, chat, for sure. The upside is there. The 6-man off the bench ability. He's cooking tonight. We need to keep him in the final 5 for the end of the game. Like, all that stuff makes a ton of sense. Again, a team with multiple first-round picks as well, too. Being able to take a chance on him and not hinge their entire draft strategy on, what if the defensive stuff works out for him as well. We don't need him to be a Final 5 guy, but if he is a Final 5 guy, then that's obviously awesome. So Utah, great spot for it. They love the college pedigree from 39% from three with one of the more difficult three-point, shot charts you would imagine in college basketball is pretty impressive. And then the way he was able to close out the season in the NCAA tournament was obviously spectacular as well, too. So perfect, chat. Brooklyn now, takes over the night with their 19th pick. Brooklyn's going to have 3 of the next, 7 or 8 picks, chat. Hey, yo. Where's this Shams tweet at the... I feel like we don't even need the details at this point. The pick is in. It's keeping us updated for the night, but where is the information on what this trade is? We just don't have it, but still, you think he would send out the tweet for what it is, chat, but it's just not happening. It's just not happening. So maybe Brooklyn can stack up on the white guys, chat. Hey, yo, they've already got Igor. Well, I guess, I don't know what I got. Igor Denim. We don't want to assume nationality here, chat, but if they get McNeely and Kasparis, we don't have to assume. So they got 19, I guess 26 and 27. So 3 of the next 10 picks. Anyways, still kind of crazy, chat. Kind of crazy, but New Orleans doubles up. Miami gets on the board for the first time. Utah, I guess they would have traded up. Did they trade up that pick? 21 for Clayton, so they got ahead of a couple of these teams as well, so traded to Utah. I guess it doesn't say that Minnesota traded this pick. Do we have details on the... We just don't have details on the trade. It is what it is. Oh, we got an ad in the draft cast. Maybe that means... Oh, we're not over on the page. Never mind. I was going to say, maybe that means they're updating, but nope. Shams is slacking, chat. Okay, we're going to have to go to the source. What is this? Oh, this is his contributor page. What about his actual page? His Twitter page. Hey, yo. So, yeah, what will Brooklyn do here, chat? Another, I guess, Igor, the international prospect. Do they go Kasparis and Igor? Would be a little redundant, you would feel like. McNeely, again, I guess McNeely's three-point shooting is going to start going into best fit range for everybody. Okay, here's Danny Wolf, chat. Danny Wolf has finally cracked the top 10 in Jay Billis's board. So Danny Wolf, he has him ranked 29th overall. So he does still have him ranked as a first-round prospect, but still, the disrespect, chat. The disrespect. Danny Wolf to Miami? That's Heat culture right there, chat. Jaquez, Danny Wolf, and Jovic just passing like crazy, leading the league in passes next year. I don't know if they would lead the league in assists or made shots, but they would definitely lead the league in passes. The ball movement would be there, for sure. That makes sense. Okay, new destination, Miami. So, yeah, Utah still has 21. So they are investing in this draft. And what was it? Austin Ainge is the guy now in a new sort of basketball presidency role there, running the team instead of Danny Ainge. But, either way, the Ainges, they want to be competitive this year, it looks like. Austin, he's like, Austin, Dad, I'm done. We're done tanking. Stop with the picks. We got to actually build a winning basketball team. So, okay, we get one more draft. You can trade up. You can do your stuff in this draft. But this is it. So we're gonna load up with who are the guys in there? Ace Bailey and Walter Clayton Jr. And then whoever we take at 20. Danny Wolf at 21. Danny Wolf in marketing. Danny Wolf the marketing replacement. Ooh, chat. You can definitely see that. Oh, chat. I'm gonna have to kick our mom off the Sling TV. I think. I don't know who else. Who all has our login, but. I guess hopefully it's somebody else right now, chat, because they are getting booted out. It is what it is. We gotta have it back. Okay, we're tapped back in. We didn't miss the replay of Walter Clayton just breaking down No Sean Moreno national anthem style, and after getting the phone call. But the pick is in for Brooklyn. I think the clock ran down there a little bit, so it's not like they were, right eager to get this 19th pick in. But not necessarily. They've got their eyes on somebody. They're not moving around. 26 and 27. You would assume maybe that somebody would want to trade up as well too. So they maybe just are kind of waiting on that and saying, okay, somebody will want to get back up into the first round and get a guy. Maybe one of these teams without a pick will want to get a first round guy as well too. But then taking 4 guys onto a new roster would be pretty crazy. Nolan Traore. So, yeah, continuing, I guess, the backcourt building. So maybe they aren't building around Cam Thomas. Everybody's replacing Cam Thomas. Uh-oh. What's happening? I don't know if he's more the scorer, chat, and then Denham is more the creator on here. So let's see what we got for our guy, Trey Ori here. I guess we can just skim real quick. We'll put it in skim mode, pause, to find the names. Where do they have Traore ranked, chat? Not top 10, be probably a little risky. So Denim was a little higher on the ringer board than I guess the Tankathon board. They have him at, I guess they have him at 16. I guess Tankathon him at 17, so pretty equal. Asenu, 22. Traore, 26, so they have Kalkbrenner, 25, chat. The Spurs, I guess 14 still would have been probably a little bit aggressive. They were kind of looking at him for 38-ish, and again, we traded that pick, so maybe they think that Kalkbrenner, maybe they knew the centers were going to be hot commodities in this draft, and they was like, okay, Kalkbrenner's not going to be there at 38. Yeah, Indiana's like, we got to get a player this year to replace. Proctor's going to replace Halliburton on the Pacers. We'll see about that, chat. So, yeah, I guess the Spurs, we don't need our second-round pick this year. We're stacked, chat. We're good to go, apparently. But, yeah, here, let's see what it says. Traore, 6'3", chat. Guard, sort of. Wait. Spindly, high-field lead guard who's on-court style centers an enhanced first step. Okay, just a year ago, Traore was commonly thought of as one of the 5 best NBA prospects in the world. He had dominated the international youth circuit and made strong impressions in his promotion in France leagues as a 17-year-old when he was deemed a savior of sorts. Gift. It's rendered a bit differently than, say, Russell Westbrook or John Wall. His first step is less concentrated bolt of lightning and more a kick of endurance runner. Wait a second, let me say that again. Traore's first step is less a concentrated bolt of lightning and more like the kick of an endurance runner. Ayo, chat. Being propelled by gale force winds. Less power, more grace. So kind of a smooth driver. Yeah, Tony Parker, more smooth than would just like electric right past you, but could still obviously find his space to get his layup and get to the basket. So that's a high comparison. Obviously, Tony Parker had a unique skill set that he was able to make work some of that mid-range, like we're saying, that crafty around the rim finishing. You know, to be able to take it to that level is obviously you have to be pretty skilled. Nico Mannion is his biggest comparison here. 8% taller Facundo Campazio, Jeff Teague, and Rod Strickland. Nico Mannion. Whoa, chat. They just traded up for Nico Mannion? Okay. Or I guess they didn't trade up for that 19th pick, but they just got Nico Mannion with their 19th pick. So here we go. Miami on the clock. This guy at 20 will be I guess we're not going to have odds for draft picks, but we will have odds for Rookie of the Year. Maybe Jace Richardson goes right here. That could be a Heat culture guy. Danny Wolf. I guess it's going to be somebody from the Big Ten. It could be an international prospect as well, too. They've been looking international the last couple of years. McNeely, the UConn three-point shooting, could definitely have some overlap with Heat culture as well, too. But like we say, they're not going to be projected to be a great team, but still, Bam, Hero, Jaquez, Jovic. Again, there's still a lot. Everybody could be a fun team this year. This is even, the league just is going to continue to get more and more fun every year. And, teams will mellow out. Guys will miss time and all that stuff. Oh, that's right. Wiggins as well, too. Davion Mitchell, if they bring him back, I think there's probably going to be a deal in the works there as well. But they, will still be a fun team. And Khalil Ware. So they still have a lineup of guys to build around. Great assets and whatever else, and just Heat culture is still a pretty fun duo as well, too. So wait, Sham's giving us an update on Miami. What's he saying, chat? Let's see what he says here. Miami trading for Jonathan Kuminga. Oh, chat. Real tease there by Shams. Like, which star player is Miami trading for? Jonathan Kuminga. Okay, different than Durant, but a fun guy that they would still be able to acquire in the offseason. And I guess if they're needing to get, are they really going to bring him in and give him a lot of shots as well, too? They're bringing him in for scoring. Just draft Jace Richardson. 6'2" Kuminga, chat. I think maybe might work. And if they're, bringing back Mitchell, Jace Richardson is like a Davion Mitchell type as well, too. Now we're at the 20 pick in the draft. That might not be bad. But, again, McNeely could be fun as well, too. Maybe this is the Kalkbrenner range, chat, as well. Clifford as well. And I guess Danny Wolf is now officially entering in the ringer territory anyways. best player left on the board. If we go back to Tankathon, Coward, Clifford in the mocks. Oh, and Kasparis, of course, chat. So Kasparis is consensus best player on the board. But the lead creator, non-3-point shooter, like, you just have to be a different level of scorer in the interior. I don't know if Kasparis is that level of scorer quite yet. I think he's obviously a great passer. And that's the thing about Topic. Like, Topic, maybe he does have the 3-point shooting, and I'm just not giving him credit for it at this point. But, like, okay, I guess him on the Thunder, they only need his creation as well, too. But Miami chat projected to take Walter Clayton. He's off the board. Number 20, they end up taking, and it's Kasparis, chat. Kasparis Jakukonis. Whoa. So they go just best player available. They continue to go the playmaking. They don't necessarily care about 3-point shooting in Miami chat. They'll train you up, or they'll just figure out another way. Because Hawkes wasn't necessarily a 3-point shooter when he was, same with Jovic as well too. I mean, Bam obviously, a forward and all the different stuff. But, I mean, he fits right into that mold of those type of guys. So, again, the passing, the ball movement, it's going to be hopping and skipping around, chat. But are they going to be scoring? Are they going to be making threes? Are they going to be making shots? Who knows? Who knows? But he is a Heat culture guy, and best player available makes sense as well, too. Lithuania, chat. So him and Matas in Lithuania international team is going to be... Is Tas Lithuania, maybe? I don't know, chat. He I know, is, I think, Chicago-born, but I don't know if he's got other eligibility out there as well, too. But 20 picks down, chat. 10 picks left to go. Night 1. So we'll take another quick break here. Oh, here's the trade. So Utah, they will send 21 to Washington. Okay, yeah, makes sense. 21 and pick 43 and 20, 31, and 32 second rounders. A 2032 second rounder. Hey, yo, chat. I don't even know which James kid will be available then, but we'll, I guess, look up the mocks afterwards and find out. But, yeah, so Washington then will be on the board after the trade back at 21 here. Atlanta looks like they're up at 22. So, yeah, we got 10 picks to go. NBA draft is still fun. There's still some fun names left. Danny Wolf still hasn't even been taken, chat. Who will take Danny Wolf in the next 10? We'll find out coming up next. Okay, chat, the pick is in for Utah. We're waiting for ESPN to get back from commercial to figure out exactly what it is. We can only hope it's Danny Wolf, but unfortunately it probably won't be. But I assume he will get picked in the first round here. And the pick is in for Utah. We're keeping up. It's a trade proposed to Washington. So does that increase the chances as well too? I don't believe so. The amount of wings on the board would make it interesting. Jace Richardson now best fit. I don't know if it's going to Utah or Washington here for the comparisons, but McNeely has now moved into best available territory, especially now on these mocks and boards with Kasparis going off. Ayo, with that last pick there, he was best available on a ton. So this from Minnesota, chat, 21. Atlanta Pelicans. The Thunder again at 24. Are they taking this pick? Because Sorber was a good, Sorber's he might play for him next. If Sorber could give him, 8 minutes a game next year, but also if Sorber was giving him 15 minutes a game next year, you wouldn't be shocked. I mean, 8 minutes a game might be kind of low. Is anybody playing eight minutes a game, but he could be a low minutes guy or also a kind of a sneaky rotation guy maybe if they need him to. So it's yeah, there's still a need there at 15 if they want to turn over some of the roster spots. But 24-2, they're going to take another guy. And they probably got seconds as well. And again, Topic and Ousmane Dieng. And more minutes for Case and Wallace as well too to go around. So maybe you take another center. Another sort of forward. Newell, I guess it was Newell, sort of a 4-5 combo guy. Maybe you go that range. I guess that's still a couple picks away, so we're going to have to let that play out. Washington, I guess. They got a guard earlier, so they could go a big here. I guess Kalkbrenner. Will Riley, chat. The wing, the perimeter play. So him and George on the wing. Carrington and Trey Johnson. Trey Johnson. And AJ Johnson as well, too. So that's fun, Chad. I'm buying stock up in the Wizards. I think they got some good trade pieces if they want to make a move. But I don't know if we check the cap space here for them. Do we have a cap tracker for the NBA? I don't know, chat. Forums, news, transactions. Let's see here. Free agents, future, offseason contract options, NBA salary cap history. Transaction. Oh, trade checker. Roster compositions. I don't even know, chat. Let's go salary cap history and see what we get. Okay, that is literally just history of what the salary cap is. We should have taken it a little bit more at its word. I guess we'll just go teams and see. Okay, that's not it, chat. So Spotrack down is going to be a bit of a bummer for that. So it is what it is. But the Washington roster either way, we can look up here. Carrington, RIP Poole, chat, who of course got traded. Trey Johnson, same thing. Koulibaly, how can we not even mention Koulibaly tonight, chat? Koulibaly and Sarr. So yeah, you got front court guys and Keyshawn George. Will Riley's a wing. So now your bench, chat. So you get McCollum in the trade. So Koulibaly is in the starting lineup. Maybe Trey Johnson's a starter as well too. It's like, okay, we're the Wizards. Like, we'll just start the young guys. We just start the veterans. I mean, the Wizards will start the veterans because again, they are the Wizards. But they should probably be starting the younger players. But still, your bench would be, AJ Johnson. But you could go Malcolm Brogdon if you wanted to. You've got Brogdon. Is Brogdon still actually here, Chad? Again, we need the Spotrack. Spotrack's actually up to date a little bit. What's going on? Where's his contract at? It's not on his page. You would assume real GM. You got to have all the info here. Transactions, awards, Rising Star. You got his Rising Star stat. Training camp experience, but not his contract. So does Spotrack have like a trademark for the contracts on their page, or what's going on here, chat? I don't necessarily know, but I guess free agent. Unrestricted in 2025. He has no contract. Okay, question answered, chat. Question answered. Shout out to Real GM. They, I guess, have the answers. So no contract for Brogdon, I guess. But yeah, okay, so McCollum in the Brogdon spot, but you got Kispert, McCollum, and Brogdon. Kispert, McCollum, Middleton off the bench with AJ Johnson, with Champagnie, and with Vucevic, who I like as well too. I mean, we still got Holmes stock, but Holmes probably his days are done. Unfortunately. So, oh wait, drafts here. Oh, Walter Clayton going to Utah in the trade. So Walter Clayton for Chad. I can't even keep up for Will Riley. Walter Clayton for Will Riley. So yeah, experience on the bench, young guys that we like in the starting lineup, contracts that you could trade as well. Here we another tab, chat. We'll get one opened up and one that's already open on the trade machine just to see. And I know Real Jam should have the trades, the future picks on here as well too. Roster, depth chart. I never go to Real Jam, chat. I don't know why, but tonight I guess that's the move with the Spo track down. But the trade machine will have the rest of their future picks on here as well, so we will double check that. What kind of trade haul could they put together in the future? Oh, chat, a lot of future picks I see. Some of them tonight. They've got they've got first in 2026 swap rights with Phoenix. I don't know if this was a trade that was moved around, because there's that Washington trade that's going to Orlando. So I don't know if this is wait a second. Yeah, what's going on here? Will be lifted in Orlando. Will instead have the. So what happens here, chat? Oh man, this is quite the read. So I don't know quite about this one in 2026. I don't know if they can trade this one or not. I guess maybe they can, and just, you know, a swap. But it's also a swap. The picks are so convoluted at this point. You've only got one in 2027s. A lot of seconds. So 3 seconds, 4 seconds in 2027. A couple of picks in 2028 as well too, and a couple of picks in 2029 via Boston, Milwaukee, or Portland. No protections. 2029. I mean, anything could be possible for the league in 2029. Atlanta. Oh, here we go, chat. So Brooklyn trading at 22. Did they package 26 and 27 together to move up here? Atlanta takes both of those picks. So Atlanta, I mean, they've already had a couple of picks in the first round as well too, but they could maybe use these players here. So let's see, Shams. Is he up on the Twitter this time? Is he keeping us updated? Nope. Bring Woj back! Oh man, Woj just unretired for the draft. We thought Woj was killing the draft. It turns out this is actually, Woj was ahead of the times, chat. We actually don't watch the draft. We just follow our phones and the computer and see what's going on. And we just want to get the Woj Twitter notifications and figure out. He trained us to not need to watch the draft. It's like, well, we just follow Twitter, and Woj is going to lay it out for us. Follow ESPN, get the alerts. Woj is just going to lay out the draft for us. But so Atlanta via Brooklyn. Okay, proposed trade with Brooklyn on the screen. Not saying anything yet for that. So we'll I guess if you guys already know, then you already know. But for us, we'll keep updated as the ESPN updates here. But yeah, they do have, anyways, the picks to trade. They do have them. So point for the Wizards stands. You know, Kispert's a guy that 26, a little more entering his prime, could be a win now type player for a team making a trade. But Middleton's a contract, and again, they have a younger core of guys as well too. Maybe AJ Johnson is a trade piece to bolster a package if you needed to. Like, I don't know who's going to be available, chat. Devin Booker going to Washington. Like, Giannis in Washington in 2026. Like, I still only want to think about him in San Antonio, just paired with Wemby. I think, unfortunately, Washington, at this point, you know, doesn't have the guy that we would think is the Wembanyama to pair with Giannis. But, again, the core around him, maybe they're a deeper, better upside core than what the Bucks are able to give him at the given time. But yeah, if it was like, who would they, so again, you got Sarr at the center forward position, George Coulibaly. Maybe George is a guy that could be a 6-man bench type guy if you need to, and bring in a different type of starter. Okay, so the 22 pick is in for Atlanta going to Brooklyn here. And I guess I'm now thinking, no Mark Tatum tonight, Chad. Hey, yo, shout out Mark Tatum, the old assistant. I was like, okay, now Silver's going to the bench and just, putting on sweatpants for the rest of the night, hanging out. But Drake Powell. Oh, Chad, just going straight athletic upside for the Brooklyn Nets. I feel like Brooklyn is really formulaic, Chad. Hey, yo, like we were saying, the international prospects, but is this like Theo Pinson 2.0? Hey, yo, these teams literally just take the same guys every year, Chad. It is what it is. 38% from three. Okay, he's got three-point shooting ability. And he did have the vertical leap. Maybe he's undervalued. Maybe this is actually a good pick. Maybe I misspoke, Chad. Okay, Theo, I actually love Theo Pinson as a prospect. What am I saying? Here, actually, I don't know if we were that high on him, but all-ball defender, three-point shooter is the two skills listed for him on the ESPN. I mean, this is a guy that maybe should have gone a little bit higher. Hey, yo, Chad. What's the height on our guy here, Drake Powell? Was he like 6'3", 6'5"? Okay. Archetype 3-and-D guy. 38%'s one of those. If he's taking a lot of more open catch-and-look percentages and he's not, like, okay, automatic 40%, then you're like, okay, I can see why there may be a little pause there, but still, those are pretty translatable skills. Number 30 overall on the Ringer, chat. Called out. Lean and mean. Two-way wing. Whoa! Did Eminem write this, chat? Lean and mean, two-way wing with the tools to be switchy on defense and swishy when spacing the floor. J. Cole, man, dropping bars. Powell's entry into the draft is a bit curious considering North Carolina's struggles this past season, but the team-wide problems do help explain the failure to launch for one of last year's top high school recruits. Okay, let's get remembering here on where he was ranked at for that. Because if there was pedigree there as well, too, I could actually see this being a fun pick, upside-wise, for Brooklyn at this spot. Was he top 20? 11th! Oh, I mean, North Carolina, of course, you would assume, obviously, there maybe makes sense that there's pedigree there. They're recruiting those type of guys. But 11th overall recruit. He showed that the three-point shooting translated, and athletic, obviously, is crazy. So, I don't know, Chad. It seems like there's a lot of good skills here for sure. UNC's inability to find a consistent rhythm of offense made life more difficult for a player like Powell, who is almost exclusively a play finisher, and someone who orbits the ball. So, on occasions when the ball did find him, he shot it well. Even on guarded catch-and-shoot threes, 44%, functioned as a cutter from corners, and showed savvy timing in actions where his speed and flexibility can be kind of versatile switcher and help side irritant that fits everywhere. But he'll need to keep developing those offense flashes to be able to apply his intriguing tools in the NBA. Okay, chat, I don't know what the player comps are, but it does sound a little Jordan Hawkins-y. I think Hawkins had a little bit more on-ball creation upside, which is why he went in the lottery. But, again, that kind of movement shooter is not a guy that, and maybe we're starting to see a push back for it, but it is a guy that has sort of fallen off of the NBA. I've even seen some Instagram posts lately about, like, oh, remember this, chat? Remember this guy just running around firing up threes? So who knows? Like, maybe people pushing some propaganda for some old NBA players. But that style of player is definitely something that, again, has gone out with more the guys are orbiting around a heliocentric offensive type players. Space the court. You're standing here. You're standing here. Even if you're cutting and moving, like, there's still going to be a stationary aspect to the threes that you're taking. So I don't know what they have for the comps here. Oh, Terrence Mann, Taurean Prince, and Mo Harkless. Much different than Jordan Hawkins, chat. But, again, the Terrence Mann obviously is even Taurean Prince and Mo Harkless, those are rotation guys for good teams potentially, for sure. I mean, Terrence Mann, the best version of him is still a guy that I would really like, chat. But, yeah, Drake Powell, that's a fun pick for Brooklyn for sure. Oh, Proctor on the Ringer got up to 33 on the draft ranking. What does it say here? Proctor's status as a prospect has slowly slipped over his 3 years at Duke. From keep an eye on this kid to there's something to eyes are on him, and that's something that seems okay. He's shown flashes of connective passing, movement, shooting that make you wonder whether he's had a chance to be the kind of player who flows seamlessly between on and off ball situations, maybe even on the same possession. But his role on the offense slipped over time, with Duke more and more taking the car keys from him. The role he played this past season alongside Flag Khan and Sion is more likely who he'll be going forward, supplementary piece who's better served making few decisions and mostly playing off the catch. I mean, still a great player, chat. I get a little Strothery, Jalen Hood, Shafino, Landry, Shamit, Spencer, Dinwiddie. I mean, those even feel a little bit more on. I do think that, again, this version of Proctor that we saw was a good version of him. I don't know if that's not a version that he wouldn't want to be as more of a sidekicky, complimentary scorer who could use his shooting to his advantage and make that the primary part of his game because that's where he's skilled at. So I would, think about him in that type of lane. And again, Shamit would be a good one as well too, where, who doesn't love Shamit as a player, chat? Shamit is obviously providing skills to any team that he goes to. So New Orleans picking at 23 here for Atlanta. This was the trade up for Derek Queen, if we're remembering correctly. The unprotected 2026 first, chat. I guess that's next year. Hey, yo! Whoa, chat. Where does the time go? So they traded next year's first to go up to 2026? I mean, do they must have other picks, chat. Let's go to the New Orleans pick. I mean, not to disrespect Derek Queen, but would you sacrifice all of next year's draft capital for even just a pick this year? So you've got, I guess, protected 1 through 4 via Indiana. So they don't have their own pick. They've got Milwaukee swap rights in 2026. So, yeah, I guess they do have a pick in 2026, even though Milwaukee could still be good. But, yeah, they must really love Derek Queen, chat. Shout out. I'm not against it. Hey, yo, it could be interesting. And, again, if you're thinking trade Zion, we get some pieces from that. But what will Atlanta add here, chat? Next to Jalen Johnson? Next to Dyson Daniels? Next to, okay, who did they take earlier, chat? Oh, that's right, Drake Powell is, hey, we're not keeping, Drake Powell's going to Brooklyn, if we remember that correctly, but they picked, not Malich, Queen for New Orleans. Okay, so this is their pick. Yeah, they just traded out for that pick. Asa Newell, forward, wing, 3-point shooting, a little bit more, like we said, the 4-5, I think, was the pick for him, right? Yeah, that's 6'9". Yeah. Oh, where's the wingspan, chat? 6'11". Ayo. But, yeah, you get Daniels who can be a 4 for sure. So you definitely can have 2 4s out there at the same time with him and Newell playing a little bit more of the 5 in that lineup if he's providing that. Again, it says he plays with that aggressiveness and that energy, and so does Jalen Johnson. I mean, you would definitely not be lacking in the rebounds and the attacking around the rim, but you could play maybe a little bit faster than the centers that you have now if you want to go with that type of lineup. I don't know. Again, it says the perimeter stuff needs to work on it. So if he's more of a center around the basket focused, I don't want to pull up his 3-point percentage and then be unfair to his game. But yeah, Atlanta obviously with Trae Young, if he can be around the rim as well too, if there's an athleticism and a high flyingness to his game, then Trae Young's going to be able to set him up in a good way, but his defense and versatility will be able to be impactful there as well too. So good pick. I mean, you trade back, you get an unprotected first next year, and you get a guy that can play for you right now as well too. I mean, I don't really know how you don't win out there. And Queen could have been interesting there, Sorber if they want to go. So you have basically that run of centers. The Spurs at 14 with Carter Bryant, and then basically your next wings. Again, Kasper Jack. Hey, yo. Kasper Jack going to the Heat is a guard type guy. Will Riley, I guess, guard wing. Oh, 6'8", yeah, a wing player. So now this is your run of wings here. After this run of centers. Oh, Clayton as well, too, I guess. But, yeah, they basically get to hop back after this run of centers and just pick up whatever wing they want from that group and then get a first next year. That makes a lot of sense, chat. I mean, getting that first made a lot of sense either way. But as it plays out here, it definitely, of course, seems like a really great move at this point. Obviously, if Queen and Missy turn out to be a great combo and it all works out, then you love it, and it is what it is. But the value draft math of the capital and the player stuff going back and forth does seem like the Hawks did make a really, really great move there, chat. So, and it all goes back to the Luka Trae Young trade, chat, because it really does feel like they've obviously the trades, the moves. I guess the Murray trade as well too is a little rich for Dejounte Murray, but still, yeah, they made good moves outside of that, chat. They're a real, real 1 step forward, 2 step back type of team. So, you know, a little one step forward here tonight, chat. Maybe a two-step forward type night. But speaking of two steps forward, OKC back on the board, 68 wins. Will these next... I mean, Sorber, chat, that might be a 70-win move. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. That might be a 70-win move. Between these two picks, they run back a lot of this team. Oh, man. This could be dangerous. Orlando on the board at 25 as well, too, next up. I guess it's fun for them to have a pick via Indiana. Wait, did they make a trade during the finals? Maybe? I know Indiana was making moves and stuff. But them getting back into the first round this year, they can even add a guy right now. I mean, and that's smart as well, too. You're already focusing the right now stuff. So, you know, just trade more of your future assets. But you think, okay, we need to get those guys on those rookie contracts. You know, we'll definitely need them in the future when we start paying the guys. But we'll also need some talent to help build around right now as well, too. So, I mean, good to focus on the win now type stuff and just say, hey, we're going all in on this window. The East is weak. We'll just push our chips into the table for 2025. Shams is giving us a little breakdown on OKC right now. We're not seeing any trade news necessarily for OKC, but... Oh, the Kings! Never mind, chat. There we go, the Kings. So, I don't know... Cash consideration, some future seconds. You know, again, this would have been a lot for OKC to try to run around, and they're gonna need the assets in the future. As much as they have them, they're gonna need them for sure. So, would not be the worst idea. End of the first round, start kicking the can down the road on some of those picks. And Sacramento getting into the first round this year, they don't have one of those picks, is good for them as well too. You know, I think Shams was maybe alluding to Clifford there from Colorado State being the pick. But again, in this run of wings, adding a player of that player. Yeah, Clifford, chat, officially goes on the board. And officially announced as well as the pick. Oh, chat, the Amazon suit of the night. Ayo, the gradient, the purple to pink to white gradient. It's a bold, great look. A unique suit as well. Like I said, I don't think we've seen the gradient suit in the NBA draft like that. Great chain combo. The pendant game, I will say, now that I'm seeing his chain, it does seem like the pendant game is really taking over the chain game. Like, I don't necessarily... Oh, chat. This is going to be this is white guy corner here. Chain types. Hey, yo, what is this chain? I don't think it's the Cuban, chat. Okay, hey, yo. This is a white guy search as well, too. What's this Pinterest board we're looking up here? Men's chain types? Hey, yo, chat. But this is the Rem and Sam pod. Honesty is the best policy. Oh, I guess it is a Cuban. So just a thicker Cuban. Hey, yo. But yeah, just that just the chain look without the pendant. It seemed like that was dominating. Instead of the tie, you go the suit, the chain, and rock that combo. But again, now we've added the pendant game, and it's cool. You know, Clifford, or not Clifford, who's our guy? Cedric Coward, running the two C's on some of this stuff. It looks good, but it is a Clifford rocking that simple look is a good one as well too. The suit is a move, chat, is a move, and he definitely wears it well. But you know, we'll see if anybody copies the gradient style. Oh, excuse me, chat. Going forward. So yeah, like Orlando from Denver. Oh wait, from Denver or from Indiana? Oh yeah, from Denver. Okay, chat. So that move. Oh, is this the Aaron? This is the Aaron Gordon trade. This has got to be the Aaron Gordon trade. Yo, chat. Orlando's gonna get a title shifting move. I guess the Bane, of course, would be more title shifting maybe than the 24th pick. But like we're saying, you never know how it works out. Maybe the 24th pick scores more points in the finals game than Desmond Bane in a good way. You know, not like, oh, Desmond Bane sucks in the 24th. We have to play the 24th pick. But let's see here. So traded by Orlando, Gary Clark Jr. No, just Gary Clark to Denver for Hampton and a 2025 first. Denver also received a trade exception. Orlando received a trade exception. The 2025 first is Denver's own top 5 protected. Conveys in 2026 and 27 with same protection. So Denver just had tanked out by 2025. instead of getting that title. Then this trade was back in 2021 before they won that title. So it was like, oh, this goes the other way. Aaron Gordon sank the team, and we're a top 5 pick. Stan Kroenke traded Jokic, 7 years earlier than he wants to. Then right now, apparently. Hey, chat, the Spurs are going to get Jokic in 2 years. Whoa! We're going to be trading for Jokic all of a sudden. We didn't know Jokic was going to be on the market. We thought Giannis. Like, oh, never mind. Everything we said about Giannis. Jokic actually the best player in the league. But, yeah, here we go. Orlando at 25 is actually making the pick. We're not bringing Shams in. So, yeah, they didn't even need to make for this trade, this pick for the trade for this pick at any point, in the season, all this stuff. This was just hanging around because of that Aaron Gordon move. So, yeah, all of a sudden now they get that extra value to add to the team right away. Perfect, chat. There's still some wings and stuff on the board. They could go. McNeely, chat? McNeely would be interesting. You get the three-point shooting with Desmond Bane, and Jet Howard is still there. But that would definitely help bolster that as well, too. Jace Richardson, we really like. Wolf gives you that three-point perimeter game a little bit from the interior position as well, too. And same with Kalkbrenner, which is why I mentioned him. And, do we have I'm talking myself into Kalkbrenner because the Spurs like him. So they're wanting to bring in his offensive perimeter and his defense. You're thinking anybody's defense next to Wembanyama. Immediately their defensive game gets so much better because they do so much less. But his complementary game next to him, and just that would be the fun twin towers. It's like 250 combined pounds of Kalkbrenner and Wembanyama, but could still definitely be very, very impactful. And again, this Orlando guy could be a impact guy from right now as well too. They do have 2 second-round picks, 46 and 57. So a lot of guys to add there. I don't know, a couple G League stashes, or they start trading away. Cash considerations. I don't know if somebody's gonna want that 57 pick when we get there, but yeah, I could definitely see this, and I don't know if we're gonna spoil it if we scroll back up. Okay, no, we're not, but I could definitely see this being. We're just every pick now is Danny Wolf. It is what it is. Brooklyn's still got 26 and 27. If they don't take Danny Wolf's not one of their 4 first-round picks. Oh my God, Danny Wolf. The disrespect. He needs the chip on his shoulder, chat. He needs the motivation. Now the league has doubted him. Danny Wolf is gonna go terrorize the G League for a little bit, and they're gonna be like, oh man, Danny Wolf's putting up 25, 12, and 7 on 50, 38, 87% in the G League. Well, you got to call him up after that, chat. Rasheer Fleming as well, too. What was Fleming's three-point percentage? Because he's high on some of these draft boards here. 6'9". Power forward, so maybe not a three-point shooter, but 39% in college. Projects out as a 38%er in the NBA here. Orlando gets Jace Richardson. Shout out. So they get the Cole Anthony replacement right there, chat. Cole Anthony 2.0. I think Jace Richardson off the ball. I think he can play off the ball, chat, for sure. I think he gives you a little bit of that shooting. You're thinking Bane is, again, the final 5 type guy. So Jace Richardson just to give you looks off the bench. But if you need to have him create and put the ball on the floor, maybe there's some upside there as well, too. Yeah, chat. 49-41 percentages last year. I guess you got to say he's efficient. And, I guess we liked him for a reason, right? And his clutchness as well, too, down the stretch. On-ball defense as a credit, so you get two-way play there as well, too. Chat, I guess somewhere between Lou Dort and Davion Mitchell is our guy, Jace Richardson. I don't know where the range is there. But, okay, our guy Fleming, Tankathon saying 36% projections in the NBA for the three-point percentage shooting. But again, a power forward-y center type guy is not bad. So he's a fun guy on the board as well, too. Fleming could be a top 2 pick here, or one of the next 2 picks for Brooklyn as well, too. But, Traore, they were supposed to take at 27 here. They took earlier. Danny Wolf, 4th best available. He's moving up, chat. He's moving up. So I thought maybe Danny Wolf would go before Jace Richardson, but I guess not. Who knows? Okay, Michigan State. You win that one, chat. You win that one. Danny Wolf could still win the career, though. He could still get... And no Ohio State guys tonight. Perfect! Perfect, chat. This is a great draft. But maybe Hugo Gonzalez. Brooklyn just continues international, wings, creators. They just continue to go that direction. But I don't know who else is, if there's like this guy needs to be a first-round pick type of guy. we would just kind of have to be okay. I think Thoreau is getting some love, chat. Not nobody in politics, chat. I think just the NBA prospect here. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. Thero, Thero, 7-foot wingspan at 6'7.5". Unfortunately, the 3-point shooting wasn't there for him. But yeah, 20 a game still, anyways. And 54% from the field is still not bad. So there is still some creation ability there for him, even if the 3-point shooting wasn't necessarily falling. Cam Jones, there definitely is the movement. Like, Cam Jones is a little Jordan Hawkinsy as well, for sure. But he was also a creator, so that's good. Like, okay, he's got the ability, but maybe he needs that balance in his game. What does he look like if he's a full off-ball scorer? And then the defense two-way stuff with him as well, too. You kind of wonder what that is as a balance there. But his pedigree as a right-now guy, you start going, I guess, Celtics, Phoenix, again, not really a win-now team now without Durant, but still. And then the Clippers, they're going to be competitive, so maybe they want a scoring guard. Cam Jones kind of as a Norm Powell replacement would be interesting. But Renaud, I guess, as a top other sort of physical center prospect. 21-11, chat? A senior, okay, 22. So I guess, is that the downside? Our guy Renaud, if he was just a couple of years younger, it would be to his benefit, I guess. But what's it say here? Okay, Maximum Aurelius Renaud, chat, from Stanford, promising big man who wields an intriguing blend of spacing, upside, and interior physicality. Okay, comps. Oliver Sarr? Is he even in the NBA right now? Oh, he might be. I think he's Sarr's older brother. I was going to say, does Sarr have a younger brother as well, too? I'm not sure, but Jay Huff, Kelly Olyndric, Mamushvili? Hey, yo, chat. Big Mamushvili fan. Obviously had the best scoring quarter in NBA history or something like that for the Spurs. But Renaud's 4-year arc at Stanford was fascinating to watch. This shout out Jay Calman again. Over his Palo Alto tenure, he expanded as a floor spacer and screener to a highly productive, high-usage player. He has many effective outlets in his game. His low center of gravity, low center of gravity. Hey, yo, whoa! Ambidextrous post scoring and great touch on overhead shots in the middle of the paint make him competitive force inside, but he's also just as capable of stepping outside as a three-point threat when he's not directly involved in a play. It's important to note that his shot is pull a Garnett there, Chad. Hey, yo, and absolutely will need to speed it up. Hey, yo. Yet this past season, he still shot 44% clip from 3. Oh, 84 attempts, 70% from the line. So there's reason for optimism that his touch is good enough to be molded into something useful, chat. Yeah, that is definitely promising. So maybe, again, a little, him and Kalkbrenner a little in the same line. Let's get a read-up on Hugo Gonzalez here real quick, Chad. Tricky to project. International prospects in a minimal role. Has terrific motor and effort on defense. His live dribble is smooth, as if the ball in the hand are one. Whoa! But while his gait and movement are fluid, there's also concerns about his pace. Okay, are we, dissecting his running a little bit too much there? If he runs good, he runs good. There's partly because he still hasn't fully earned the respect as a shooter. Aside from single event hot streaks, he's hovered in the low 20s, or high 20s, low 30s. Defense, typically soft close on him or just ignore him entirely. Yeah, his energy and foot patterns when attacking the paint are impressive, but our guy Jay Calman, he'd like to see him go off script a bit more. When those patterns are interrupted, his discomfort with physicality can often lead him to miss cutters or spot up shooters, or go 2 steps too far into traffic and throw errant passes. These are things to like, but expectations should be very measured. Oh, Chad, he said, cool your expectations on our guy Hugo Gonzalez. Hey, yo, not a lot of high hope for the Spaniard. Dursic, Vicic, and Brazdakis as comps. So he's saying he's not going to be in the league, Chad. Have some respect for poor Hugo Gonzalez. Sion James probably not jumping up into the first round as well, too. Okay, Brooklyn, the pick is in. Did we miss a pick, chat? Did we miss a pick? Who was the last pick? I think Brooklyn was... Were they on the clock already? Yeah, okay, Jace Richardson to New Orleans. Or Orlando. So we are good to go there. Brooklyn, this is from New York. This is the Miles Bridges trade. And then Houston, next, from the James Harden trade, I guess. So, Houston... James Harden ends up going to the Clippers. a little bit later. No, Houston would have had the picks for they would have traded the picks for Harden, but then got the picks back later. No, but they traded him to Philly, and then Philly traded him to the Clippers. Hey, yo, Chad, the James Harden timeline, definitely a headache there for a second. But to remember all the teams, shout out to James Harden. But here we go. The pick for Mikal Bridges is gonna be, is Hugo Gonzalez the next Mikal Bridges, chat? Oh, who do we got? Ben Saraf, chat. Okay, we got a guard. I guess, I don't know if he's present or not, chat. We'll see. I don't know if he was a green room presence or not. Somebody's getting up to head out there. Maybe playing right now. I don't know exactly what the situation is there. Under 18 FIBA Eurobasket MVP. So has had his tournaments, chat. I guess we'll see what it says here. Impressive combinations, scoring instincts, feel for the game, aggressiveness, playmaking, pick and roll creativity. Breakout star at that tournament we mentioned. His handle, pace, and footwork, passing game give him intriguing potential. So this is a little Kasparus maybe with the type of player that he is. I don't know what the comps are going to be for our guy here, but we will see where he was at. Sanaf, maybe a little bit lower. Oh, wait, here he is, 29. Lefty Jitterbug with some of the best passing talent and creativity in the class. Again, Misic, chat. A lot of Misices in this draft. Hey, yo. Goran Dragic, Bob Sura, Brandon Jennings. Whoa, that's really just, can we find lefties at this point? Or Ramon Sessions. Brandon Jennings would be fun. But Misic, Goran Dragic, obviously, as a crafty lefty, is good as well, too. But 24% from 3 is pretty interesting. So, again, continuing the international trend, not necessarily valuing three-point shooting, but getting creators, getting lots of guards. So Cam Thomas, chat, that restricted free agency thing, maybe they need the minutes there for next year. Oh, Danny Wolf, chat, shout out, 27, the first round, winding down. I mean, Brooklyn at 27 again. He's not on the phone getting the call, so is he going to go to Brooklyn here? Danny Wolf, if he was, Danny Wolfe from France, maybe they would take him, but Danny Wolf from America does not seem like they're locked in at this point. Boston needing a win now guy. I guess okay, Danny Wolf's offense and impact, would that help? But I mean, you see again, chat, chip on the shoulder, he expects to, he values himself, he's upset right now. And I know some of the conversation was could there be a slide to defense? What does he bring to a team? Is there a range for him? If he did fall out of the first round, is there a world where it's it's not totally unsurprising, but I like the fact that he is disappointed. It means he's going to be upset by it. It means he's going to have something to prove. It means the Spurs shouldn't have traded out for... Oh, he's on the phone! He's on the phone? Yes? Maybe? I don't know, chat. McNeely looks a little happy, right? Is that McNeely? I don't know if we can get all our white guys straight, but... Wait, who are the white guys left on the board? Is that not McNeely? I don't even know who else it would be, chat. They would actually finally go a U.S. prospect at this point. The Clippers for Wolf as well, too. Honestly, if the Clippers don't take Wolf, that'd be kind of a disappointment, chat. I don't know who would be the wings left on the board at this point. It seems like Sanaf, playing with a little bit of size, would be a guard maybe that could get. I guess, again, our guy Fleming as well, too. And McNeely and Gonzalez, chat. So, between McNeely, I guess Wolf's got to go over Renan, though, right? We just got Renan drafted, I think, by saying that. But in these next two picks, a couple of picks, McNeely's going to go. Fleming maybe's going to go. Penda, the international prospects are flying off the board, chat. Strong frame, 6'7", big wingspan. Nobody cares about the three-point shooting percentage, even if three-point shooting is what matters in 2025. So maybe Penda goes up there as well. And okay, a smile on the face of Coach Dusty May. I don't know if that's just keeping good spirits or if he knows that the pick is in here. But, again, they brought the phones over, so hopefully that's just Brooklyn locking it in right here, chat. 27, let's go. Danny Wolf off the board. Oh, he's announcing a trade. They're not trading. Somebody's trading up for Danny Wolf? I mean, Danny Wolf, if they have 4 picks, chat, this is going to be the perfect example of why the draft, why just options matter. Because guess what? Danny Wolf's going to be the best player of all these guys, and they've got 4 shots, and he was their 4th one. So let's see if that's actually official here. I'm not even going to look down at the ESPN screen and spoil it. Yes! Yes! Chat, a round of applause. Standing ovation. NBA draft, let's go, baby. Legendary Michigan career in 1 year. Hey, yo. Transferred from Yale. Shout out to Danny Wolf, chat. We love to see it. We love our Michigan men. Dusty May. Dusty May's first Michigan man drafted in the first round, 27th. It took a team with 4 first-round picks to finally take a chance on him, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All you need is a chance. You get the guy with the biggest chip on his shoulder now in the draft, chat. Hey, yo, Danny Wolf, it's a steal. Steal of the draft, Danny Wolf. Now the over-under for crying guys is shattered, chat. 50% from the field last year. 13-9. He can play make. He's a center. Recapping the rest of the draft chat here for Brooklyn. Let's see what else they had. Again, Brooklyn's had so many picks we can't even keep up to. Igor Denham, Nolan Traore, Ben Sinaf, and Danny Wolf. So yeah, Igor Denham, Danny Wolf, kind of the same type of guy almost. But Danny Wolf, chat. Would I rather have Danny Wolf than Igor Denham? Call me biased. Call me biased. It is what it is. I can't help it. It is just the way our brain is wired, chat. But Denham, I mean, and Traore seem like his athleticism is definitely going to be something to take into consideration as well too. But again, Wolf's gonna play for him right away, chat. Wolf's gonna give him minutes. Let's get their depth chart pulled back up here and see what we got for the Brooklyn Nets. And I guess for player trade stuff, again, they got Terrence Mann incoming for a trade. D'Angelo Russell was on the cap hold there, so they're not going to have him. So, you know, Danny Wolf just can move right in as a lead playmaker, chat, on this team. And same with Cam Thomas. So you're going to just have all your guards vying for this playmakers, one of these last playmaker spots here. You move Maxwell Lewis up into a main role. So, you know, they're going to sign some guys as well, too, to bring in, you would assume. But, yeah, I guess you could start Denham right away. And then, again, trading Cam Johnson, lock it in, chat. Hey, yo, like, Danny Wolf can step right in and be a center forward next to Claxton for sure. For sure, chat. That's kind of fun. Zaire Williams. I mean, we like Zaire Williams. And like we were saying, Jalen Wilson as well, too. I mean, even Wofford, chat. Can they bring back Wofford on this team? I mean, he's pretty good as well. So, Boston on the clock. 28. Who are they? Oh, the pick is in. Was there 3 minutes left there? Hey, yo, they got a guy in mind. So, Danny Wolf off the board. I don't know if maybe that proves that, oh, man, Danny Wolf would not have gone to the Celtics there. If they make up they're like, okay, nobody wants this. We got our guy. The pick is in. But, okay, pick is not in yet on the feeds. We still got time. No spoilers, no spoilers. But they do got the backcourt help now. And they, again, already have Derek White, already have Pritchard as well, too, there for a couple of years. So that's kind of locked down. You would assume that they would go, maybe Kalkbrenner, chat. Kalkbrenner would be kind of a Porzingis-y replacement. Again, I guess you bring in Nia. I guess that's your Porzingis replacement. But Fleming could be or McNeely. Chat, if they don't take another white guy here, they took Baylor Shireman last year. If they're not drafting another white guy at the end of the first round, then I don't know what they're doing. It's got to be McNeely or it's got to be Kalkbrenner. Hey, yo, I don't imagine it could be a stash guy like Gonzalez, but again, they have the ability to be able to play a 28th pick this year, which is the mystery of what the ceiling of the team is. Maybe Renaud if you just want to go a more typical center as well too, like we're saying but I guess he is a little maybe he's even more Porzingis-y than Kalkbrenner. I guess what we're saying, him and Kalkbrenner were kind of the same thing. Kalkbrenner 257. Start going weight comparisons, chat. Hey, yo. Can Renaud bulk up? 237. So you do get a little more. Hey, yo, plus a little more mass. A little more girth and tonnage with Kalkbrenner. Hey, yo, chat. 6'7" wingspan. Our guy Renaud started doing the full comparison. 7-footer. No wingspan for Renaud. So what do we got, chat? Oh, it is Gonzalez. Whoa. They do go with the stash guy. So they're really, I guess, not going to play this 28 guy. They like their team, chat. They're like, Simons, we're going for the playoffs. I guess his defense, they got Jordan Walsh. I think maybe you would want Jordan Walsh as kind of your energy creator-y type guy. Maybe his three-point game is really improved. Shireman's also a creator as well. So, another ball handler in the rotation as well, too. But Gonzalez, I mean, were we not saying sort of guard level for Gonzalez here? Aggressive swingman, averaging 11 minutes. Looking like a lottery talent in multiple settings over the past several seasons, including small doses this season with highlight reel plays on both ends of the floor. Gonzalez showed significant flashes, ability, transition score, pick and roll passing, especially versatile defender, despite not having luxury of playing through mistakes. Becoming a better shooter will be key for unlocking his value, of course. Explosiveness and competitiveness at the highest levels. But 6'6", so again, more of a guard wing than more that front court. Gonna double and give you some of those Porzingis-y minutes. But again, they called that in quick, so they really like that guy. But as a guard, like you wouldn't think McNeely would be able to. But maybe he's just more redundant with Shireman at that point. Yeah, a little bit. But maybe you go Kalkbrenner. I think Kalkbrenner or Renaud would have been a fun center there as well too for Boston. But who knows? We're just reading draft stuff, looking at vibes, chat, just based on vibes. But Charlotte is picking at 29 here instead of Phoenix. Again, Phoenix could use this pick as well too. But shout out to Charlotte. They got their guy, the nipple chat, the con man earlier, the nip slip himself. Hey yo, chat, we're spreading COVID all over the place. Shout out to Con Knipple going in the top 5. But Charlotte can continue to add here. Maybe they go with one of the centers as well too. They did trade Mark Williams earlier, so they're gonna need some picks, players to make up for that. And I guess we kind of brushed past that a little bit as well too. But let me look up here real quick what that Lakers trade was, because I feel like that Lakers trade was more than what they ended up getting for Mark Williams now. So the Suns make a deal. They selected Maluach earlier, but that was with the 10th pick. So they got Maluach and Mark Williams. Suns trade for Mark Williams on same night they draft Maluach. Yeah, so they just have both guys. And then the Hornets get the 29th pick from Phoenix. So, yeah, so wait, okay, let's look at what that trade was again. Is it still in the draft? Is it in the carousel here on the draft cast of tweets? Do they have all the tweets laid out here? Just the last couple. Yeah, they don't have that one in the feed. Hey, yo, chat. So let's see if we can remember where that trade is at. Suns acquire Newsweek. I don't know if this is a reliable source, chat, but it was to the 20. So, yeah, so just, a 2029 first. Wow, Phoenix. They're really giving up their last assets for Mark Williams. They're like, okay, I guess with Beal, Booker, and Jalen Green, we're ready to go right now. We get our center. We're good. So, yeah, I guess we don't need to look up that Lakers trade, because that Lakers trade would have been a 2029 first. And what, Dalton Connect? It was Dalton Connect in a 20. So it is kind of the same trade. You get Knuppel, who would have been your Connect, basically, at that point. And then you get your future first for Mark Williams, and you get a 29. So maybe they win out as well, too, in a way. And, is Knuppel... Maybe Knuppel's a better complementary player than Connect. I do think Connect might have a little bit more scoring punch upside than Knuppel, though. Knuppel's full balance, maybe his ability to conduct an offense, again, a little more Reeves-esque, could be a little bit more valuable. And maybe if his just offense, again, continues to be more efficient, then, it is what it is. But that's some good navigating for Charlotte. Again, I like Mark Williams as a player, so that's a good trade for Phoenix. But they're just really... Of course, they just don't have a lot of assets to work with. So the fact that they're just even giving up stuff for anybody is risky. I guess you do get a little bit more into that Durant trade, but again, it wasn't the massive overhaul. We like Jalen. I like the swing on Jalen Green. It's still like is he going to be a guy on the team when they ever win a title? Who knows what that is, but you bridge the gap. You get a guy who's 23, upside. You turn him into something else later. Who knows, chat? But, yeah, 29. So... you got 28 first in there. Okay, 29 first, 29 first, 31 first. So, yeah, you start going. And not a lot of seconds. they had some stuff, I guess, out there in the future that they do have that they were able to make this move, I guess. But again, really aggressive and really, I guess, a move to keep Booker happy for sure, because adding rookies and young guys is definitely like, okay, setting up for the future, all that stuff. And again, Jalen Green, while he is a little bit younger, he is a little bit, he kind of toes it a little bit differently than just a true, like, let's bring in all the picks, and instead of Jalen Green, that instead of Jalen Green, like we're saying, it's Edgecombe or somewhere. Oh yeah, maybe long term, that's something there that's nice. But the timeline can still be a little bit unfair. I guess like Rosillo said, guys are good. So what's the timeline? But also, it takes time sometimes for guys to be good. So you get Jalen Green a little bit more veteran. You get Mark Williams a little bit more veteran in there. Can play right now. Can help Devin. You can help Devin Booker be an 8 seed, a 9 seed. Devin Booker wants to lose in Phoenix in the play-in game. He can do it with this team, Chad. They were 36-46 last year. They're like, can we get worse than that? I mean, I guess we can. But Malawach and Mark Williams, yeah, Chad, both. So, and I like both of those guys. You need both of those guys, I'm guessing. So they do have a lot of wings. You get Dylan Brooks in there as well too, with Grayson Allen, with Royce O'Neal. You can trade, I guess, some of those guys in the season if you need to. And Nick Richards is still on this team. So I guess the Suns, chat, that's a let's see how this continues to go. Because you do have, like we were saying, a couple of centers. Nick Richards could be, I don't know if he's a full first-round pick, but there's something there. That's a trade piece. You can't aggregate, which is tough, because a little Nick Richards sort of. So McNeely is going to Charlotte, chat. So Knuppel and McNeely, oh man, they really are just taking the MJ, honorary drafting picks. But both of them are pretty good, so you can't be mad. Both of them give you playmaking and shooting and that perimeter game, some wings. McNeely a little bit more size. And like I was saying, do I like McNeely's value in the draft better than Knuppel? It doesn't matter. They got them both. So either way, they will win the draft for best white wing guy in the draft. And part of that Cooper Flag, Monteverde team. I guess, whoa! How can we forget about Cooper Flag? Was just hovering in his own tier, chat. He's so far up above all the players that we forgot about him there for a second. But, yeah. Okay, outside of Cooper Flag, McNeely or Knuppel will be battling for that spot. But, yeah, great impact guy for sure. Charlotte, again, the East is weak, so Mark Williams would have been a fun... And, they don't get the center in the same way to replace... maybe they would have been a Malawach team as well, too, knowing that they were going to trade Mark Williams like this. But... with the East being weak, they could be a 5 or a 6 seed for sure. I mean, there's no reason that they have to be in the play-in game next year. You could power through, and maybe I'm being disrespectful to the other teams up there as well, too. But just everybody continuing to get better, like I'm saying, chat. There's no reason for them not to. Wait, so is Phoenix back on the board? What is happening here, chat? What is happening? There's a trade. Okay, wait a second. So Phoenix at 29. So wait. 29. What pick just happened? Boston at 28, 30, 31. Chat, I feel like... So... Yo, chat. We did have the Brooklyn picks. Oh, Brooklyn... No, Brooklyn took Danny Wolf. Then Boston took Gonzalez. And then... Oh, no, the pick is in for McNeely. I was like... They just were not flashing McNeely up there for the graphic. Hey, yo, chat. Is it time to start winding down the draft coverage? Hey, yo, we're like, what players are going where? Who's going what? Picks are going... I guess we've been kind of... in that lane all night, chat, but now we can't even start reading the TV screen straight. It is what it is. Okay, they shifted the pick over to 30. I guess the problem is they've got the 31st and the 32nd pick on there as well, too. So I wasn't necessarily putting together that those were second-round picks. It's not the NFL, chat. It's 30th pick. This Clippers pick is the last pick of the first round. Those last couple of picks were not necessarily going to pop up here on this side of the screen. There they are, chat. 31, 32 in the second round. So the Clippers, again, the West competitive. Kawhi and James Harden, what's the limit for that as a star guy? But, maybe there's a competitiveness there in the regular season. You still add a fun piece here, and, who knows if he hits as that type of guy. But, and Kobe, they took Kobe Brown here a couple, or maybe even last year. It was like, okay, definitely a veteran guy, three-point shooting. There's some stuff there, but I don't know if he was going to be in the lineup helping him out for all that stuff. So, is this the Kobe Brown year where he steps in and plays more minutes as well? But, okay, chat. So this is the first round here. winding down as the Clippers make this pick. I don't know if we go. It feels like, once Danny Wolf got off the board, basically everybody in the first round should have been in the first round from the names that we were seeing. I guess maybe Fleming here. Fleming could be good as well too, but yeah, everybody makes sense for getting in there, the top 30 for sure. But okay, let's go the teams real quick to double check the multiple picks. Queen, I guess again going to this is gonna be more confusing because it's not good. Why did it just update it with all the trades, chat? ESPN, make it easy for the fans. Don't make it difficult. So ESPN does have, I guess, to make it easy, Fleming as their number one of it. See, I guess this is Billis's best available, not necessarily Billis's best available on the ESPN website that we're looking at here. But yeah, Flag A+ chat, Dylan Harper A+, VJ Edgecombe, we'll start doing great. We don't have to grade everybody, but you see the vision for the rest of the picks. Wizards, who did they actually end up with, chat? Trey Johnson, and they got Will Riley. Trey Johnson and Will Riley. So good draft for Washington, back-to-back years. We kind of like the Washington draft. Brooklyn with Danny Wolf, great pick. Jace Richardson to Orlando was fun. I mean, the Sorber pick might honestly be the best pick of the draft. It's easy for I guess how many national titles, how many national champions picking almost in the lottery, like, is a great spot for anybody. But great value there as well too. Just, I guess you start getting in the teen range. That was kind of a good range for him, but maybe a little off some of the boards as well. Fears, I just, the zero fears thing really had me bought in, chat. So that could definitely be fun for sure. Coward to Memphis is good too. That is a fun pick. Carter Bryant, I mean, to the Spurs as well. Walter Clayton to Utah would be another, maybe could get out there. And Powell to Atlanta, though again they is that maybe AJ Griffin 2.0 as well, but maybe AJ Griffin that actually ends up playing. Okay, chat, so they're making a dramatic reveal here for the Clippers first round pick to finally be announced. And then I guess McNeely going to Charlotte as well too is up there in the mix for those picks. So Malawatch, I don't know if we can grade the Malawatch pick in conjunction with the Mark Williams trade, or do we grade the Mark Williams trade in conjunction with the pick? I guess just in the timeline. We'll go back and check the tweet timeline on what actually happened there first. Because, again, if they have that 10th pick and they know that, do they break Klay Thompson's Washington State record and get Cedric Coward in the top 10 at that point? And again, they have a lot of wings, but you have your center in Mark Williams. Carter Bryant, maybe a little bit more 4-ish than Cedric Coward as 6'7", I guess. Who knows? So, I guess Malawatch top, probably, like we were saying, we were even arguing, going to go 3 to Philly. So, definitely best player available. And you just make a trade for a guy. I guess you just start making moves, I guess, independent of each other. Just go, okay, we like this move, we like this move, we like this move. We'll just make all these moves. But Malawatch at 10 is a good pick as well, too, for sure. So, yeah, Dylan Harper, obviously the best, to get the best player in the draft outside of the number one pick is obviously going to be great for anybody, chat. But NBA draft is fun. Again, round 2, I guess, did they have more time to operate with tonight to stretch out round 1? I think maybe they did, but it wouldn't be surprising, like, okay, now we got to just rapid fire through round 2 in an hour here and nobody's going to watch. It's like, yeah, tomorrow night, Thursday night, man. I got, who's got sports going on here in a Thursday night? The center run continues, chat. Yannick Conan Nerdhauser from Penn State. Shout out Conan there's a Conan the Barbarian nickname there, potential. Or, Conan the talk show host, if he maybe is like a Shaqtin' a Fool type player. JaVale McGee legacy passes on. So there's really can go both ways with the Conan nickname. Doesn't even care about the draft tag, just walks right past it, chat. Hey, yo, get that bad boy on there. Clippers, get the center. Yeah, they can use a center. I guess Zubats and Nerdhauser playing next to each other. I don't know. Zubats is there for a couple years under contract, favorable, so he's definitely on the team. But his efficiency in defense, I'm sure, can definitely be additive to the lineup, absolutely. So, of course, another great pick to round out the first round here. But yeah, Chet, so if we did say our favorite picks there, I guess outside of the top two that we knew were obviously going to be happening, Trey Johnson to the Wizards is fun. Cowherd to the Grizzlies is great. Sorber to the Thunder is great. And then outside of nothing else is great, chat. Just like the ones that I'm like really, and then not trying to be biased by saying, all of a sudden now we're fully bought in on Carter Bryant to the Spurs. But that might be the number 4th as well too. And who did Portland end up getting again, chat? Oh, that's right, Yang Hansen, the center. So I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. So yeah, I guess we'll say if non-biased, we'll say Malawach to Phoenix. But the Mark Williams thing is tough. So unbiased, it is Carter Bryant to the Spurs. It is what it is. So best 4 picks of the night: Trey Johnson, Cedric Coward, Carter Bryant, and Thomas Sorber. I guess those are all in the top 15. So Walter Clayton, we love Walter Clayton as well too. But maybe it's just us not having watched some of these other guys. We're just, it's not like, okay, we can have confident predictions and takes in the future for every player. But vibes-wise, there's good impact. But who's going to be the guy that just ascends? It's like, okay, this guy should have been the top 5 pick in the draft. McNeely, maybe Gonzalez in the Celtics as a swingman, just killing it. It is our guy, Danny Wolf, chat. Lock it in. It's definitely Danny Wolf at this point. Clifford or Newell in Atlanta, maybe, is the other pick. If he's like a little Derek Lively-ish, maybe? A little Derek Lively with that? That would be interesting. Like, Derek Lively in Atlanta would be fun. Again, maybe Derek Lively more perimeter, but then they had a center rotation there in the past, so them continuing that is not necessarily hard to conceive of as well. And then there's definitely some, like, okay, are these some stash guys in there for sure? And then 3-point shooting with some of these guys, we'll just have to see. But yeah, chat, night 2. I don't think we'll be live for night 2 of the NBA draft, but we're live Friday night, so we'll of course be live this Friday night as usual, hanging out. You can hang out with us here on the YouTube feed as always. These do go up on the podcast feeds as podcasts, and you can have them there if you guys if that's a better way for you guys to be checking in on the old Rim and Sam pod. And if you guys want to message us, the DMs are open at Rim and Sam on Instagram, so feel free, chat. Hey, slide into the DMs. It is what it is, but those are the messages. Anyways, if you guys want to contact us over there. So yeah, like I said, we'll be back Friday. NBA draft. If not the best night of the year, chat. Hot take, NBA draft. So much fun. Who doesn't love hanging out for the NBA draft? We loved hanging out with you guys. So we can't wait to see you guys Friday as well. Peace, chat. Have a good night.